You are now entering Maximum Driftcast, the only drifting podcast hosted by a Spanish soccer mom, a 30-year-old silver-haired fox going on 60, and finally, a 200-pound bowl of spaghetti with chimichanga arms.
The champions, we are the champions.
Welcome to Maximum Driftcast, the only drift podcast in the world.
Wow.
How was that? Come on. I give it a try.
That was Sam. Let's start off. Sam, 1 to 10. You be the judge.
I would just
again.
Hold on, Sam.
I mean, I've been judged like for the last 3 days.
Yeah.
How long have you been working on that one for? How long have you been working on that intro for?
Well, the last 10 seconds.
I would just say, tell us what you really think. Is that the truth, Fede?
What truth?
Did you say the best drifting podcast in the world or the worst?
I said the best.
No, he said the only.
The only.
Simply the best.
Simply the best. There you go.
All right, well, we'll take that, I guess.
That was really nice of you, Fetty. Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
You're a
You
nice
deserve
guy.
it, guys. All the hard work,
you.
you deserve it.
We don't even deserve to have you in the studio, but we do, and we're very grateful for that. So thank you for stopping through Phoenix on your way back from Texas, and you're live in the studio that isn't Paco's house, while I'm the odd man out sitting here in California like an idiot.
Yeah, well, I think many people would like to sit in California like idiots, huh?
Yeah, that's
right.
What's the weather like there, Fede? How would you describe the Phoenix weather to the people that don't live there?
Well, it looks like a spa around the roads because it looks like you're going in a sauna, but it's dry.
Yeah.
So I think it's good for the body and mind.
You do sweat a lot, so I guess that's good if you need to detox.
There you go. Yeah. No, I don't need to detox, but anyway.
You're in 100% physical condition.
I'm perfect.
He's in perfect shape. I don't know. You missed him in last round, Sam, but he's in perfect shape right now.
Yeah, well, I assume he's in perfect shape.
Well, right now we're actually eating a sausage and cheese plate,
exactly,
and a fruit plate.
I wish you could see that, man. It's like a buffet in here.
Yeah.
Fede, what does Corey's fruit basket taste like?
Well, ask like that, it sounds a little bit odd, but I think it is a normal question.
Is it cheesy with a little hint of sausage?
Well, we got all kinds of fruits, and then you have the choice right away of little salamis with kind of cheese and
Corey's
stuff.
definitely little.
Yeah.
I thought that's pretty much the only option with Corey is little salamis. You don't really, you got to take with what you get.
Well, I was going to say that was pretty spot on, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that's pretty spot on.
He's kind.
That sounds
He's
accurate.
kind with you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Speaking of, where were you, Sam? We missed you this weekend.
Yeah, I missed my first Formula Drift round in 5 years because I was at my best friend's wedding. And I posted on Instagram. It's pretty funny. My mom was giving me play-by-play updates as I'm walking down the aisle. Literally, no joke. Before I walked down the aisle, as a second to last dude out before my good buddy Kyle DeBrule got married. Kyle and Katie, congrats. They don't listen to the show, nor do they give a shit, but let the world know. But yeah, I pulled up my phone almost about as I'm walking down the aisle, and I saw the halftime show in the middle of it for a few seconds, and I'm like, oh god, they're blowing it. And then I hung up, and then no, I'm kidding. You guys did great from the 5 seconds I heard, and Lorette, who filled in for me, it looked like she did an awesome job, and is, as many people on the Instagram commented, is much more attractive than I am.
Yeah,
So,
you look like a quite an improvement from you to Lorette, Sam.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm sure that is very given,
Yeah.
but I'm also sure she probably did my job better than me as well. Because
Well, I tried to do your job.
You try to do my job.
Your job.
Yeah. Okay. How did that go?
Not as good as I thought. I already had like my intro all dialed in, and as soon as the microphone went live, I kind of like was looking at the horizon, and I saw like my entire life flashing in front of my eyes, which are now covered by Heatwave visual glasses.
Yeah,
Thank you guys
they're
for
gigantic, and I can't stop making fun of you for that. And it's not so much the glasses; those look like cool glasses, Heatwave. But I don't think I've ever seen Paco in glasses, and I feel like he's like faking being a Peter Parker or Clark Kent. And yeah, there we go. That's better. But you actually need those to see. You're not just trying to look like a hipster.
No. I think what happened is that I welded something a year ago, and my welding helmet wasn't getting dark.
Oh, so you literally ruined your vision?
I ruined my vision because I used to have
God.
20/20.
That's terrible.
So, yep, but Heatwave Visual hooked it up. Got me some prescription normal and sunglasses. And I have some stuff for you, too. I have it right here. I'm going to bring it to you and Irwindale.
Irwindale, woo!
Yeah, they also hook up Corey. He got some sunshades, and
Yep.
he looked like the Wolf of Wall Street.
I felt like it.
Also, full disclosure, I missed the last show because of incredible, crazy deadlines with the projects I've been working on. And I'm actually editing while we do this talking right now. And I actually just realized this is kind of cool for those that have the video portion of the show turned on. I can... Apparently through Skype you can do like screen sharing now.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna share some of what you're doing.
Check this out real quick.
What is he gonna do now?
He's gonna probably show us that he edits porn movies on the side job.
Oh, look at this.
Look at
See,
that thing.
that's all banging.
That's what whoa.
Music.
That's what 8 minutes of or 6 minutes of the Nürburgring.
Yeah,
looks
so I
like,
see
guess.
part. Oh, so this is 6 minutes of the Nürburgring of how it's just smashed together like that.
Wow.
Yeah, so that, and then it's gonna keep going. I don't want to spoil too much. Vaughn will get mad at me, but yeah, that has been going hard and heavy for many weeks now, and it's we're at the home stretch of it. But if it's any indication of the life I live, this has been like every day for 14 hours a day, and it's not stopping. Yeah, even while we do this beautiful podcast. But when Fede is talking, I'm going to put down what I do and pay full 100% attention. Corey, Paco, I don't know. We'll see how much attention.
The editing of Sam is amazing.
Oh,
So, and he always throws himself down because he wants compliments, right?
Right. He is
So
a
can we make him all three like a compliment all at once?
Yeah, for
No,
sure.
no,
Your editing is amazing.
You're sexy. Yeah, Sam.
It's amazing.
Fishing for compliments, Sam. You're
Yeah.
perfect.
Buongiorno.
How do you feel? He's blushing.
I feel pretty bad.
Yeah, I
There
would
you
too.
go.
Good.
I
What,
would too.
Fede, before we get super deep, do you want to talk about your Formula Drift Texas experience? I got to see some of your runs, and it seems like it's a course that's catered to your car, and you're driving pretty well. How do you feel about it?
Well, I liked it. I liked it a lot, especially because she's getting more.
Fiorella, this is.
This is Fiorella. Yes, when I
Yeah.
talk about she,
Yeah.
I'm talking about Fiorella. Okay,
Yeah.
because in Italian we always give a female or male name to objects and stuff.
Oh, yeah,
so
same here. I do it as well.
okay, there you go. So she's a she, of course, and she's Fiorella. Said this, I enjoyed it. I actually studied quite a lot, as I always do before going to the tracks, the previous races that the guys had, except for St. Louis, I only saw some Pro 2 stuff. I like the track because it's more what I'm used to, maybe. Bankings, I'm starting to love them, actually. I'm missing the bankings. I can't wait to go to Irwindale. Texas, I didn't suffer that much of a setup difference from the big boys. Even if I couldn't score a crazy good score in qualify, that means that you have to face a very good driver right away because of the bracket. But I'm studying. I loved it, actually, as every round from when the car is, running properly and making me enjoy my job.
What do you think of the thing that's always been in contention and what is usually decides almost every battle is that midsection of the course where you get blinded by the lead car? What do you think of that area as a driver?
Well, I think that there is a line that you have to stay in to not fall behind. And then you have to, of course, always anticipate the throttle work of the other driver, the movements of the other driver. Actually, this time I didn't suffer that much because the boys stopped giving me like 40 feet every time they accelerated, So when they start giving me only like 5, 10 feet, 15 feet, it starts to be another story. The car is there. I can see them. I start enjoying a lot, to be honest. And when I start enjoying a lot, I start doing some good actions with the car.
Because you finally have gotten some seat time with the car now that you've done these rounds, and you're figuring out ways to make her faster and handle better. And
Absolutely.
I was going to say, isn't it crazy that this is still your first season?
Yeah.
it took me a second to remember there that this is his first Texas. Yeah.
Yeah, this is your first season, and you've probably been through more this year than most drivers, I would probably have to say.
Well, I think
It feels like it's 10 years.
It's like been 3 seasons in one.
It's now 7 rounds we did, right?
Yeah.
It's 7 years.
But think
past.
about it. Because now it's your first season, but at probably the hardest Formula Drift has ever been.
Yeah.
It's not like
cars
5, 6
super
years
developed.
ago.
Drivers continue, of course, training and growing. And it is, anyway, the gather of the best drivers in the world and where the best drivers would like to be. There is also many amazing drivers all around the world that I know, that I say hello to, and they perfectly know who I'm talking about. Friends of mine, colleagues of mine, students of mine. But here is probably the place right now where everybody wants to be for many reasons. So Formula D, I really have to give the maximum credit for the hard work everybody's doing behind the scenes. And this is not, to you guys use blow smoke, but I say sound violence. It's true. It's important to give the credits to people that deserve it.
Definitely.
Yeah, but it's definitely. And speaking of such credit, obviously, what I was going to with this is that a lot of people struggle as a first year. Probably everybody struggles a first year, but this year particularly, everybody on top 32 it's a hard contender. So you're getting into the hardest. I think in my opinion, this is probably the hardest Formula Drift has ever been. So it's quite challenging,
hardest,
just to win a battle it's a huge victory.
Yeah.
Like all these guys who've been doing this for years already, they're like, oh, I won. I mean, I won many times before,
Of course.
But one of the things that I noticed, and I mean, we mentioned it on the halftime show, is that this time one of the judges voted for you for the win.
Yeah.
So that's quite already something. It's like somebody
course.
seeing what's going on, and
Yeah.
Was it Andy?
of course.
That I think he may have earned himself a spot on the show finally.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah.
Well, Paco did
been-
slip him a $6 bill.
Okay. Yeah, we.
It's
I
not
had
true.
a
You're
little bit-
so mean.
After he voted
Because
for
if
you.
you
though.
would, because when you went to the finish line, could you see the big screen and how the judges slide?
Yes.
Did you see it kind of go one way and then shot back to the other towards you? That was Paco just keep making it rain on him until I finally switched it back.
And
No,
that
you definitely earned that, and
gave me big satisfaction for sure.
yeah, no, because obviously this year's, I can't imagine being in your shoes because we talk about this all the time every time we hang out at the track. But it's like, not only are you competing in Formula Drift, you're regularly going back home to Italy, doing drift events and working at your shop.
Yes.
Taking care of your dog, then
Yes.
coming back, prepping the car, going through different teams. Yeah, it probably has not been the easiest year because you've changed so much over this year.
Yes. Well, the core team is always the same. We got let's say 3 or 4 people randomly back home that are the same people that give a hand with all the projects that I developed on the car, all the custom made parts that now I'm starting also to have a lot of backup here in US with all the custom stuff I do. Between California and Georgia, let's say I can rebuild half of Fiorella already.
Yep.
Okay, that's really
Good.
important.
That's huge.
Yes, because of course, also calling back home, I need this. Between making it, sending it, it's better also to have locally support and people that can give an important hand. Said this. You asked me the question. The original question was. Let's go back to the original. You made me an original question. I got lost a little bit.
Who do you think you are? No.
No, I was just saying that this year's.
The years, yes.
It just seems like this year it's been like you've developed more in this year than most
there you
teams
go.
do in 3 years.
Yes. So said this. The core team is always the same, and it's me, Fiorella, and Simona. From day one. Of course, I got back home a lot of people between Marco and Franco and all the support from my students and customers that I have that always follow me, but they cannot come, of course.
Right.
They're very busy. They have their own also everyday jobs, which when you are doing it professionally, you're doing it 7-on-7, people have a hard time to follow you in your life.
Yep.
You understand? So you need to also find people that have very elastic and open mind families. It's not easy.
No.
To make a team,
Right.
because people have to stay away from home. People have to be demanded and all this. So I'm putting together right now a lot of genuine people that I meet all around US. Because first of all, I privilege the person than the skills of being a mechanic, of being a spotter, of being, I'm trying to also gather good people. And then you do it, People have different lives. Life of people change, so you have to, adapt yourself, adapt the team, and this is what also motorsport is. Find loyal people that can grow up as skill-wise together with you.
So when you started off in Long Beach, you had a little bit different of a team as far as people supporting you than you do now, because you have some of the guys from GMG now kind of helping you.
Yeah, George
Yep.
gave a hand when we went to Atlanta and helped me out to introduce me to some local people.
Yep.
That today these local people, of course, are part of the staff. There is Andrew, there is Alan. Then we got people coming, volunteering for the passion they have. We got Martin back in LA, so hope I'm not missing anybody. Of course, the big support came when Progressive Medical Store came in with Scott, that really helped out putting together
Yeah, he's a super
Hercules.
nice guy. He was at RS a couple of
Yes,
weeks ago.
yes, exactly. Super nice guy. He built Hercules. That is the dually that is taking us around
Nice.
USA. That completely made us independent. And apart, I'm so proud of Hercules. He's the most awesome dually around. He's an F550, guys. Be careful. A F550 with a
That's a
pickup
lot
bed.
of Fs.
Yes, it's a trip. It's an F550 of triple F driven by Federico pulling Fiorella. How you got that?
How many Fs is that?
A many F, guys.
Oh my god!
The only F missing is like a big fuck you. And
No,
Paco. Everybody, get out of the way.
There you go.
That's not who he is, Paco.
Yeah,
No.
come on, that was me.
So said this. G&G, a big part of it, and then we got amazing people. Ferrari Atlanta giving a hand. R3 Motorsport, it's a Ferrari San Francisco giving a hand. Auto Talent from Long Beach giving a hand. I don't want to miss nobody, but
No,
you
I'm
understand.
sure
in the
there's-
backstage
Well-
to make it happen. People say, "Oh, Fede, you don't give up. You're so cool." But there's so many people. in the
But did you
backstage.
have that before you came out here? Did you when you left Italy to come out here? Did you know that you were gonna have that
No.
amount of people?
No.
See, that's the thing is,
No.
when you were coming out here, what did you bring originally? Because it's not what it is now. That's what I'm saying. Is over this year your team has grown, like I said, more than most teams have in 1 year. You've had this burst of. It seems like you've been doing this for 5 FD seasons now because of just how quickly your
Thank you.
team has grown. But the other thing that I want to get at is, since you're one of those guys that's making the trip, you obviously you developed this crazy car. You've came from overseas to here. What has been the most difficult challenge this year competing in this series than anything else you've done?
Well, the real difficult challenge was, of course, developing a complete new car that I could not pull up the phone or send an email and say, "Hey, man, how many clicks you give to that coilover, or where do you put the suspension attachment,
Right.
or where do you do this?" That was the first challenge of a project like that. Then
And that's a continuing challenge, of course. That
and
doesn't
exactly. Then, to be honest, is we want to talk about the new tracks. Everything is new. I acknowledged only when I arrived that we had the 12 laps. Well, even if I would have acknowledged before, I would have came anyway.
Right.
But when they told me you have 12 laps in total before going in qualify, I was like, okay, that's really challenging. Trust me, because 3 laps, I need them to understand where I need to turn, like physically.
Right.
Where I need to go. Where is the start line? Where is the
hold
finish
on.
line?
Do they count a lap if you just drive it and not drift it?
Yeah,
my
of
God.
course.
And that's the
course.
rule that we talked about it when they made it, and
Right.
it definitely is to keep, let's say that you're one of the AAA budget team, or not AAA, the biggest budget team out there. It's to keep you from getting 40 laps with your tires, but also at the same time
I agree.
with unlimited tires. But at the same time, if you're new to the track, it really hurts you as well to some degree because you are not getting the time behind the wheel that you necessarily need to even, like you say, learn which corner you're turning on.
Yes. Also because I'm not that guy, and even if it was any kind of car, apart that I respect any kind of car, whatever it costs to build it, whatever model, whatever year, I respect any kind of car, and it's not my style to drive a car, throw it in the wall, at the third lap and then come back, and do a
For
little.
hanging off. Yeah.
No. I like to do things step by step. Sometimes I do small steps. Sometimes I do huge steps. But if I start passing at a foot from the wall, it means I can pass 10 times from a foot from the wall. I don't like doing laps that you throw dices. When you do a lap.
And that's the other advantage too, is that let's say you've been doing this for a couple seasons now, you can take your settings from this year and now use them in 2019.
Absolutely.
That you didn't have. So in 2019, you already get those laps back.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, like all the changes you've been doing to the car during the season, now you're going to come first round next year, all those changes already made.
Absolutely.
So-
The first goal, for sure, is to not almost burn alive in the first round. So that could be already a first goal, for next year, and do a normal race and a normal start of the year, because that took about like 4 rounds to get back in shape.
Ironically,
Yeah.
that accident put you like in the bigger map
Yeah.
because everybody was talking about it.
Yeah,
So,
it's true.
they say there's no bad publicity,
No.
but I mean, it definitely put more pressure on you guys. And I
It
remember
put a lot of pressure, for sure. Yeah.
Now you guys were banging every single day for hours.
Yes, and I hope I can make a beautiful, deep, and enjoyable recap at the end of the year. Also, things that people maybe don't know exactly what happened in backstage. And I apologize if maybe in that period where actually the routing was super high because of what happened, I was not so present on the social networks, but because I was actually putting things back together to make it happen. I manage this project very closely, and also in my style, there is not even a screwable that moves if I don't double check it. Not because I don't trust the people around me. I actually want the responsibility of everything that happens.
Yeah, at least if something is wrong at the end of the day,
I said
it's your fault.
Yes,
Okay.
I swear. That's why. So it takes a little bit longer procedure, but everything is done very meticulously.
Yeah.
So
Which it's just that's pretty nice because I mean there's always I mean I'm not talking about anybody in particular, but there's a lot of people who likes to blame everybody else.
Oh,
something
yeah.
goes wrong. Oh well, you forgot to do this.
Yeah.
Oh you told me this and you got me upset. Like they're just like people's always trying to find put blame on other people. But I mean it's good to hear that you're so thorough. Going through everything, and you want to make sure that everything is the way you want it. Because if it's not, at the end of it, it's still your fault.
Exactly.
We're also talking earlier. I was talking to you guys who are sitting in the control room. They're saying that you like to be on everything, make sure that everything is done the way you want it, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's it's part. I think it's part of like you say, it's being able to make sure that
Yeah.
So
From when I'm in the States, you guys use a lot of terms. Like even if a guy is like has a good problem, you give it like a letter stuff. So some people telling me that I have like a problem because I'm very like precise, but I like it as a problem.
OCD.
Yeah, I think so. I
Like,
think it's
Very.
fast.
You have a routine.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
but that's perfectly fine. Like you're organized.
yes.
For example,
Yes.
that's the thing. I'm not.
Well, or I have no halfway. Or I'm like a bomb exploded. I'm a mess, in some things that only though don't go and annoy anybody unless myself.
Yeah.
But on the things that other people are
Yeah.
organized, everything has to be like on shape.
How do you? So you before Formula Drift, how many years? I'm sure we talked about this last time, but how many years you've been drifting professionally?
From 2004?
2004.
Yeah.
So how do you feel the pressure of Formula Drift is compared to the pressure of the other series where you were before? Like, for example, when you go qualifying, because I'm asking this because like I see you doing practice,
Yeah.
killing it. like
Yeah.
awesome runs.
Yeah.
And then comes qualifying, it seems
Yeah.
like suddenly oh shit, this is a good one. You might
Okay.
gotta tighten up.
Yep.
So
Yep.
do you think is the series itself, or is maybe because you're a different country?
Because I do the
Or-
last change until the last lap, unfortunately. I try. I mean,
Okay.
I'm always on developing the car. So maybe stubbornly, I don't leave the car when I feel it's good. I always try to improve it. And it's a little bit of gambling, you know. To be honest, I don't feel the pressure of the qualify.
Okay.
And I don't get stiff.
Okay.
Because usually, at least from what happened from the past rounds,
Yeah.
yes, it's true. Sometimes I get a lap on free practice that you're like, oh, let's hope that he gets in qualified
Yeah.
this lap, But maybe I'm just it's a throwing a dice lap to
Okay.
see how it could be. But then when I have the situation under control, when I am driving to
Try to be more conservative.
conservative but pushing.
Yeah.
And it's some things that don't work sometimes
Yeah.
together, being conservative and pushing, plus developing the car, plus trying to do the 13th or 14th lap
Yeah.
in total of ever you did in that track.
Yeah.
So that's what we're trying to do every race.
And not only that, you're still developing a new car.
Yes.
What's
Yes.
Hold on. Let's.
It doesn't have to be an excuse because
I'm gonna- hold on, I'm just
I
gonna-
mean,
let me- hold on.
Osbo has a new car. Matt Field
but
has
it's
a new
very
car.
similar. Even
Yeah.
they said it's very similar to the
But-
TC. It's not.
It's
Let's do
okay,
12
but I don't want to
times-
take it as
Hold on,
an
12
excuse,
times
you know.
7. No, I know 12 times 7, and then you get a battle plus 14. So if you do your full 12 laps, right?
Yeah.
Your full 12 laps and practice, you use all those, and you do one battle for every round, which you have for the most part.
Yes.
You've done 98 laps in Formula Drift so far.
Yes.
Roughly. So 98 laps.
It's not really that much.
So am I gonna
It's
do
not that
my
much at all.
100th lap on my second lap in
If
Irwindale?
your 100th lap is going to be at Irwindale, it's going to be your
The second lap.
Yep.
What should I do?
Well, you take some of these sausages and huck them out the window. Yeah.
Come on.
No, but that's the thing is, okay. So let's talk about that, right? Yes. Oswald has a new car. Field has a new car. They have cars that's already been previously developed.
And Blues,
like,
Blues has a new car.
but
he
once
did
again,
a
that's
race
a-
last year.
Okay,
Fine.
hold on.
Yeah, but he's
Hold
also
on.
I just
want to
be honest.
No, but
he's
no.
also-
Let's be
yeah,
honest
yeah,
then, because even when Field was looking at Corvettes, he was sitting in Dirk Strand's car. He was looking over Dirk
Yeah,
Strand's
yeah,
car.
you
He
can-
was looking at references, right?
Yeah, he has
Osvo
references.
was going
Also
off
from
the
Japan
TC
and
and going
everything,
through
yeah.
these other cars that Papa Duckas knew in and out.
Oh, of course.
What
of
did you
course.
have to rely off of?
Nothing,
So I'm not
nobody.
giving excuses, but I'm just saying you have to be real sometimes
Thank you,
too,
man.
because there's references that these other people were kind of going off of. Like HGK had that crazy Corvette driven by Evil Empire.
yeah.
Yep.
And that was what Matt Field literally bought everything from HGK. I want to install it in a Corvette.
Yep.
Same engine on the S14. I'm going to
But there
install
was
it in a
already some-
Corvette.
there was already
yes,
some
there's some
development.
development that needs to happen to the chassis of every new car, but it's not like I have to make completely front and rear end suspension components. I have to make an
That's
angle
true.
kit for it. I have to make this Ferrari, which works already good, that much better. There is something that is like
Yeah.
there's no references or production parts.
It is
so
a
it's a
challenge.
lot of trial and error with 100 laps.
It is a challenge.
So yes,
Yeah,
I'm
gi-
the same
give
way
it-
as you. I don't
give
like
yourself the
using it as
credit.
excuses. I don't like using excuses because if somebody else is doing it, I should be doing it too.
Yep.
But you have to be realist too. That it's like I'm building a computer from scratch, and
Yes, and also the characteristics of the car are very particular. She really always wants to push all the front end like any other car I ever drove.
Well, I mean, just think about it. Ferraris are known for being amazing track cars. They're meant to not spin. They're meant to hook. They're
Yes.
meant to go take turns and not slide.
Yes,
It's
I agree.
And you're making it do totally the opposite what it was designed for. So I mean, it's like with the Miata. Brian has experience driving Miatas. Chelsea Nova has experience driving Miatas. They're cars that are hard to drift.
Yep.
So you make that car drift. You're doing something like it's some crazy development.
reverse engineering.
Some
I-
Like
reverse.
reverse engineering.
Almost.
Yeah.
Think
But
about it.
I want her to drift like crazy good, not just drift.
Well,
I mean,
drift's crazy good.
Yeah, but she has to drift like crazy good. Like like the other cars do. So
right,
we're
so-
gonna get there.
Okay, that brings up the next point. What do you feel she's missing?
Side bite right now because we got loads of forward bite and
Jumps.
yes, I mean you know that I shove fourth gear almost on the straight and she comes up. I mean, it's something embarrassing.
So American.
I swear.
Popping wheelies.
No, it's awesome. No, the RTRs, I love them. I
Yeah.
love them. You know, actually now I see them that they're not coming up on 3 wheels as before. I think they changed some little bit of setup.
And they
I
did,
don't want to
they
go
did
on.
a lot better. Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to say much, but it looks like they're a three-wheeling
Settling it
less,
More
right?
settled down, yeah.
So I'm not talking about that kind of three-wheelie that Vaughn and Chelsea used to do, but she comes up now
Yeah.
and like
Well, you have a-
traction.
you have-
Really, she
You have
goes.
a smaller overall wheel and tire.
Well,
So-
yeah.
But you're also setting it up to do a little bit of weight jacking, as it's called.
No, he does weight jacking when he gets up in the morning, Sam.
That you wake
No,
up.
no, no.
and
I'm not
jack
talking
it.
about when you put a like 5-pound, weights around your wrists and then do
Yeah.
what you do.
Right.
No, but it's called weight jacking in the car when you balance it to pick up wheels, like the Gittins have done in the past and still are to some degree, like you said.
Yeah, no, I'm just setting up the car as I see it needs to be set up to move as the judge wants and to help me to hit all the clips zones that are settled and also to adapt to my driving style that right now I can't even express 100% because the car is not finished 100%. Hopefully, Irwindale, I really feel that I can, let's say, put on the table all that I've learned in this season. And since it's the last round, this doesn't mean we have to do anything that I didn't do. I pushed and the team pushed every round 110%. So I won't do anything different that I didn't do in the other rounds. But I love last chances, crazy pressure, that stuff like American movies,
Right.
guys, right? You know what
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
talking about. And usually it works out, but I don't want
That
to.
reminds
Then
me
you
of my
can
favorite
hopefully-
American
you
actor.
can
What's her
hopefully
name?
Get
my-
the Ken Gucci attitude and just go in there and just fuck up some points. That's the goal, right?
Yeah.
Well,
I want to have a good race. I want to have a
Yeah.
good race. Yeah.
I was gonna say it's like an American movie. It reminds me of my favorite American actor. It's something Rocco.
Rocco's Modern Life.
No.
Rocco, because you guys, okay. So the guys asked me why my dog is named Rocco. I named it Rocco after a very famous porn actor, Italian, Rocco Siffredi.
That's
Why? You want to know why?
why?
I named,
Because he's probably packing heat.
yeah, you know why? Because he was a puppy. Okay, he was a puppy.
Yep.
And his thing was like almost arriving at half of the puppy.
Oh my god.
Because
God.
before, before it grows that, then the whole puppy, to an English
Gave
bulldog.
birth to a giant
So
dog
while he
penis.
was walking towards me, I said, holy crap, man. And I go, it's a bit embarrassing. I said, that's Rocco. That's Rocco. Done. So we called him Rocco.
That is
Wow.
the best
And
dog story
all-
I've ever heard.
Yes,
That's
all-
almost as good as Sam's pigeon story.
The Italian ladies love my dog.
Oh, well, I
Oh,
thought
they
Rocco.
do.
They understand right away. You understand
Yeah.
why he's named Rocco.
Oh,
But,
it's like,
why are you
yeah,
doing
nothing.
this when you're saying that?
Because
No,
that's
it's like
an
it's
Italian.
a why.
Yeah.
It's important.
It's supposed to be like this. Instead.
Yes. Not,
Paco, I feel like this is a good transition into some of the super chat questions
Yes.
we've gotten.
So there's super chat going on right now. Let's start with a pretty
Super
mild.
chat is in the YouTube.
that's right.
If you're watching live, you can
Yep.
put forth a small donation and get a
Oh,
question on the
boy.
board. And the top question there, Paco, if you'd be so kind.
Yeah, Corey loved this one. I can already see.
I just
him.
saw.
He's
Yeah, I'm
already-
looking at it right now.
He's already
It's
licking
really
his
scary.
lips. It's from Aaron Quillis. He say, "Can Corey and Fetty turn this into Maximum Kiss Cast?"
That's see, the thing is
He's
you
getting
guys have the French kiss, and then Josh Robinson taught me the Australian kiss. Are
Well, now
are
we need to know
no,
about the Italian.
Italian men don't kiss, guys.
Yeah, see, I'm
It's
full
done.
blown
Italian men
Italian
just
man.
shake hands.
You see,
so please
exactly.
shake
Yep.
hands in
See,
front
like
of the
that.
camera.
See.
Hey, very good.
Yeah.
There you go.
See, I was
Don't-
ready to do a full Australian kiss, but I guess Australians do it, just Italians don't.
You
No.
wanted to do
you-
an Eskimo kiss. Corey,
Yeah,
don't lie.
do you know what?
Can't
do you
you
know?
do the
hold on,
cheek
hold on,
kisses at
wait.
least?
Sam, okay, so why do they kiss on each other's cheeks then? What does that mean? Why?
Hey, it's a family style,
Okay.
or a little bit,
Because
No, that
Americans
means he's
we
gonna
look-
kill you next day.
Well, the thing is,
it's very nice to meet
No,
you. Mwah.
that's usually you say you invite him to take a coffee. in Sicily.
Hey, you
you
wanna
say
go?
like,
Okay.
let's go and take a coffee.
Oh.
No.
And that means you're
And
not.
that's
It's
Sicily.
done. Then
Because
it's
I
done.
remember when Michael Corleone,
Yes.
he
Paco, where'd you get that accent from?
he went and told his brother,
Yep.
you broke my heart, and
That was perfect
Kiss
Italian accent.
Yeah.
And then-
Usually, maybe I don't know. It's not so common, guys. I don't know that much. It looks like
I'm never
I know a
I'm
lot
never
of that
drinking
stuff.
coffee with you though.
Yeah.
No, it's
Now I
fine.
Let's go
know.
grab a
No,
coffee.
it's fine. They're like, if we grab it together, it's no problem.
No.
Let's don't grab it alone.
Oh.
Okay.
Usually when I meet people smaller than me, I usually kiss them on top of their head.
Yeah.
But that means like bye.
But he's trying to show dominance.
Yeah.
Kind
You know,
of.
He was
Yeah,
the,
a little
the
bit.
alpha male.
And then
Yeah,
usually
the kiss
instead of
on the
asking,
cat is like, yeah, it's fine.
well,
Don't
instead of
worry,
asking
you
for
know.
coffee, I ask them if they want Jamba Juice or something.
or a foot long.
Yeah, do you guys want to
hot
grab
dog.
a Coney or some Jamba Juice?
Or some Dutch Bros?
Yeah.
I have another
And
question.
then we have the other question
Yes.
from Georgi Kalishnikov.
Yep.
He likes to get in there on the super chat, and we love that he likes that.
Yeah.
And he says,
Bratan.
Federico,
Bratan means brother in Russian.
oh.
yes, you see that. Federico, brother, tell
Brother.
these fellas about coaching the comrades in the motherland.
Yes.
We will get your Russian tidy with every live stream.
Wow. Wow, Sam.
So
That's the best.
I've been judging. Well, the first time was 2010. I judged the final round in RDS, and then I went judging last year the whole championship and the year before. I have friends, great drivers, students, sponsors, brothers there. They're awesome people. So hopefully I'm getting back soon. This year was very busy, as you all know. So I couldn't dedicate myself to anything else that was not Fiorella and FD, to be honest. So, and I'm proud of that because it deserves commitment, And anyway, Bratan.
Man.
Nostrovia.
Nozdrovia.
No, zdrowie.
Doesn't that mean something?
It
Salud.
does. It
Cheers. There's another question, actually. Paul Velichkov, he also sent us one super chat. He's saying, guys, at some point in the show, have Simona come and say hi and tell us a few words on her FD experience this year.
does. He's a playboy.
Yeah. Paula
she's-
Veljkov.
She just ate a scorpion lollipop.
Yes, I mean,
I don't think she did. I don't think she can
think
speak
it's
right
the kind
now.
of woman you want, man.
I don't think she can speak right now.
She ate like a scorpion lollipop. I mean, guys, run,
So growing
really
up-
run for your health, for your safety.
I came
growing
in.
up-
Sorry, guys, what can you
Arizona.
say? I mean,
Sam, I did walk
does
in.
is that romantic?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
tell me, is that
Oh,
romantic?
it's beautiful.
Yes.
Really?
Some
well,
men find that very appealing.
I walked in and she stuck a sucker in my face and it was a
Yeah.
half-eaten scorpion. Oh my god, those are like usually like a joke.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
aggressive.
Growing up in Arizona, you see these at every gift shop, and it's just essentially a transparent lollipop that has an actual baby,
Yep.
mostly scorpion, which are actually the most deadly because they have the most poison,
Yep.
or they are unable to control them as much. Anyways, they're for like tourists to buy and put on a shelf or something.
Well,
I don't
she-
think anyone actually eats them.
She
Simona
totally
did.
ate it.
She
You know,
crushed it.
the-
How'd
the-
that taste,
I know.
by the way? Hold on, we're getting the
She's
verdict.
looking
We're
for
getting
the
verdict.
right
Why
word.
don't well get her on the mic?
Like
Yeah,
Big
you,
Rave.
you can talk into the microphone right there. Just
That's
say it
what
in the
the super
microphone.
chat
Say it in the
wanted.
microphone.
Come here. Get
Just
the
say
mic.
it's okay. Nobody can see you. Just say it.
She's
Oh, she's so shy.
shy.
Fetty, why is she so shy?
She's not shy
Look
at
at
all.
you now. She's covering
She's like
up.
playing a perfect
Just
role of a
playing
shy
like-
girl,
Yeah.
and she's not at all.
I'm just an innocent little girl.
Well,
Yeah.
Paul asked that she come on the show if she would like to before the end. By all means, please. But otherwise,
We'll try to
I
at
thought
least,
she
Alright.
at
was
least get to
brave.
say hi.
We'll make it
I thought
happen.
she was brave
The most
after eating a
disgusting
scorpion
thing-
lollipop.
We'll make it happen.
The most disgusting thing about the scorpion
Simona, come and
popsicle,
say
it was
hello.
that it was banana flavor.
Yeah,
It was. Yeah.
that
just-
was
Yeah,
that
I
was
can't
what's
eat it. I'm
disgusting.
allergic, actually.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're going to get her official review on the scorpion sucker, as I'm curious, as I've been a native to Arizona for quite some time, and I did not have the balls to ever eat one.
I don't even
Yeah.
have my one here.
You don't have yours?
Yeah, I have a green one. I think it's an
You got
apple
one?
version.
gross.
Hey, come real quick.
Sam
Let's-
brings
let's
the-
do it.
Sam, I saw it
The
happen. I couldn't
scorpion
believe it.
version.
All right, let's see. She is
Oh,
thinking
She's
too much
grabbing.
about
She's
it.
grabbing the bass flute. Okay.
All right, come here. Where's the scorpion?
Okay, hold on. We're gonna grab the
Show you also
scorpion
the green
sucker.
one.
Oh, she
because
put it
we
on
got.
the cooler.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I told her.
There you
Because
go.
mine, guys. Come,
All right.
come a second.
Get in there real quick.
Wait.
Like,
So there's the scorpion. There's the scorpion
man.
inside the sucker, right? Yep, ate the whole thing, Sam.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's not healthy.
that is healthy. and we're trying to get an official review here, as she's standing right next to Fetty right now. There she
Just
is.
real
All
quick,
right. So
just say, how was
see?
it?
how would you describe that delicious sucker?
Say something.
Something. I'll translate it. I'll translate it.
Liquoricia
Okay.
Licorice.
Licorice. Yep. I knew
and
that.
something salt.
But
Okay.
Like salt licorice.
A salty licorice, Sam.
No, before something like salt.
Okay.
salty.
Yeah, and after liquoricia.
Salt.
Okay, after the flavor went away.
Semi-sweet licorice.
And
Dopo era secco.
And it was like dry.
Ugh.
there's a dry, salty licorice
Perfect.
sucker.
All right.
That's what I've always
that-
said. Well, thank you.
I mean,
Now,
I mean,
from an expert.
yeah,
From an
exactly.
expert.
I mean,
Thank you, Simona.
double meanings
Yeah.
are flying
Simona.
right
Thank
now.
you, Simona.
I mean,
I really appreciate that.
poor Simona.
Yeah, she's a trooper. She definitely there it
Simonetta.
is. Ate the sucker.
And for those that don't know, Simona is a member of your team and an essential person in keeping Fiorella
Fiorella.
on the road. And,
Yes.
And happy and
Fio-
healthy.
See,
Fiorella.
how come when she walks in, everybody gives these heart eyes, and when I hop on, they give me hot dog emojis? That's kind of fucked up.
Good. It's
What
the
the
double
fuck,
standard.
Betty?
Why, man?
I don't know.
It's a double standard, Corey, and
Yeah.
I'm sick of it.
I wish there was a hot dog with hard eyes. Then I'd be double whammy. But, wow, that was awesome. Now I've known. I've been waiting that for 15 years.
It looks like we went through like a lot of imagination. I mean, everybody wanted to be the scorpion at a certain point, you know.
Federico.
Guys, what are you saying? What are you doing? What are you thinking?
Too funny.
Come on. I mean, already when you scorpion sucker.
Yeah.
No, look at the name, man.
Yeah, the apple scorpion sucker.
It's true.
It's
That's
true.
what you call
It
it.
sounds like it tastes like a salty licorice.
And no,
And banana.
the
And a
banana.
banana.
She even took the banana.
What an animal.
But she
She
No
took
wonder.
the scorpion sucker banana. I
Ugh.
mean,
Yeah,
guys.
man.
I mean,
Ugh.
anyway.
That's wonderful.
anyways.
Once again, we appreciate your time. Now we know why you have her on your team full time.
Yeah. Because she's
wealth of knowledge.
scorpion.
She's
Wealth
Yeah,
of- the scorpion
sucker,
woman.
Banana taste.
Yep, the scorpion
Jesus.
woman over there. So the other thing I want to get at while we're on this topic of scorpion sucking, Irwindale's coming up. What do you plan on doing? Do you plan on keeping Fiorella over here in the States, or are you sending her back home?
Well, actually, the way we send her here, she must come back.
What?
Yeah.
She's gonna go back home?
Yeah.
She
Import
goes back
stuff, right?
home, and then she will come back.
Oh
Okay,
boy.
but she must do a touchdown back. in
Oh, okay.
homeland.
I know. Okay,
And then come back.
Yes, because you brought her in under like the race car law, which
Yes.
is not a technical street
No,
car.
it's provisional export
right.
or
Which
provisional
is
import.
so
It depends.
ridiculous. I'm only learning more about this now as we're doing a similar project that involves shipping cars
Yeah.
race service. But it's like it's so ridiculous the laws
Yes.
they have. It's
Yes.
like it's a fucking race car.
Yes.
It's going to be there for a video shoot. Why are you making this so hard on us? Like
I know.
it's not like we could have built it in your home country. It's not like
I know.
sending it here
I
is
know.
depriving anyone of any money. It's like it's so,
I know
so dumb.
they're making their job because maybe many people just send them saying, yeah, they will come back, so you don't pay, you know, what you have to pay on it. Then you sell it, and you know, you made everything better for you, but not
Yeah,
for
of course.
how it should be done.
I guess I just wonder, like, why do these laws exist? Or like, was this a problem at some point? Were people making a bunch of money importing
Probably
race
yes.
cars?
Probably.
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
yes. Especially cars at a certain point. You know that it was more difficult to bring in the spare engine of Fiorella than Fiorella. To be honest.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes. For all
And why was that?
Because of the black market and stuff, it needed almost more documents. The engine, the spare engine of Fiorella, than the whole car.
Whoa.
I swear.
Pretty crazy.
I swear.
Even-
because
even-
it has a kind of, you know, a kind of value.
Oh, gotcha.
And
Because you're
so-
importing X thousands, and when you
Yes.
import something for X value, it has to go through a stricter. Because if you were just
Exactly.
sitting like an SR over, they'd be like, "Oh, it's an old piece of shit Nissan.
Yeah.
Yeah, $1,000. Screw that thing."
No, but it has a different value for sure
Right,
from
yeah,
a
yeah.
V12 of a 599. Yeah. it
Well,
has
it's
a
like
different
anywhere
value.
you travel, you can't travel more within $10,000.
Yes,
cash
exactly the
technically
same
on you. So
example.
there's a
Yeah.
you have to go through tax documentation.
You can't just put a V12 engine block on your saddlebag and bring it on the
right,
plane.
check it.
We've seen that kind of stunt being made on Formula Drift where people travels with a transmission on a duffel
Yeah.
bag in the plane.
Well, that's the thing is
Well,
they could look at
that
a
was-
Hollinger sequential and they're like, "Oh, it's old
Well,
transmission."
last time I landed, I think maybe in Atlanta with the triple disc plate of Fiorella.
Yep.
The guy was like,
what is that?
like when the luggage passes and it goes or left or right.
Right. Oh,
it
yeah,
just
through
went
security.
like it went
It's-
right,
it's
right.
Immediately.
The guy said, "Can I open?" Of course. What's this? I said, "A clutch." And a moment of silence.
Right.
Like,
What does that
what
mean?
kind of clutch is this? I said, "Well, it's a triple clutch.
Oh,
it's not like a
Ferrari.
Yeah, it's not a normal clutch.
It's a ninja weapon.
It's a ninja weapon." And then it was pretty odd, so I had to send it as a normal luggage. They didn't make me
check it
bring
in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they didn't check
Just,
it in.
just so you feel a little better, Sam tried to do that and check in with a machete. In his backpack.
Machete.
a machete, a sword. Sam tried checking a sword.
Like literally.
Well, I
Are
didn't
you
try checking
joking?
it. I tried to bring it through security.
He tried to. he tried to bring it through TSA. Like his
Accidentally.
carry-on accidentally, a machete.
Needless to say, I got in
Accidentally.
a little bit of trouble.
He forgot he was there.
I forgot I was there.
What
I
were
did
you
it-
doing
it
with a
was for
machete, Sam?
I did it as a goof, okay?
Hey
for-
Sam, while we're talking about smuggling stuff, do you remember when Paco tried smuggling the bass flute?
Yeah, he got in a lot of trouble.
Have you seen the bass flute yet?
No.
So,
No,
anyways,
yeah.
hold on. It's has he seen
Oh
it?
my God! Yeah,
It's,
Simona
okay,
found
I got
it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the bass flute is one of Paco's favorite tools and
his
instrument.
most prized possession.
It's his most
Yeah.
prized possession.
Well,
It's actually
it was
hand down from
it
his
was
great
awarded.
great
Yeah, it was hand. It came hand from hand
from his great great grandfather. It's petrified.
AKA Sam.
It's his grandpa's petrified bass flute. But he tried taking that through security.
It didn't. It
And he
didn't,
said,
didn't
"Oh
go well."
no!" And then he goes, "Yeah, my aunt must have left it in my luggage. Sorry about
Yeah.
that."
And like, is
mean-
that an actual instrument? Show us, play
Yeah,
it.
play it. And then he played Hot Cross Buns.
I had to play the most sad medley ever.
Yeah.
It has a very mellow,
Fantastic.
deep voice.
It's a
can
beautiful.
imagine.
It's one of the most beautiful sounding instruments.
We'll
I've
play
ever
some
heard.
for you at the end of the
Sure.
show.
Yeah, we'll whip something.
We don't
up
want to
for
get
you.
demonetized so early on the show, so we'll wait for the end.
So okay, hold on. So you're gonna ship
So-
the car back. Hold on, I want to get back. You're gonna ship the car back. Are you gonna like work and prep on the car? You're gonna immediately send it right back and then start having the guys out here work on it.
We're organizing this right now.
Perfect.
We're organizing dates, timing wise, that it's very crucial. And it looks like, oh, it's next year, it's beginning April. It's
Dude.
just going to fly. It's a second. It's tomorrow.
I can't believe the season's already almost over.
Yes, exactly. It's like tomorrow. So
It's blowing my mind.
it's everything is being decided now. We're already planning from a while for sure. I'm thinking of getting her back, making her be enjoyed by my sponsors,
Yep.
supporters, customers, students, fans back home, and then send her back because I need some testing. And also, it's pretty strange to say, but it's different between tuning her in Italy and tuning her back here for all the air pressures and all this stuff. So it always needs adjustments. And I need to send her here as soon as possible
Right.
to get her dialed in with, all the American atmosphere.
So, and I'm only going to ask this because it's been a crazy year from you. But when you first came out here, even let's go further back. Even watching the excitement, because originally you were going to try to get out here in 2017.
Yes.
We remember that. We were excited about it. We've always talked about that. Then something may have came up that prevented that from happening.
Yeah.
Then you finally came out. Obviously, total success. A lot of people were excited about it, right?
Yeah.
Everybody seemed excited about it. How has that excitement progressed, or what have you seen from fans and sponsors, and obviously your involvement in the sport? How has kind of that whole side of your program grown? Just the excitement and involvement from people. Have you had more people
Well-
reaching out to you now? Do you have?
Well,
what
from
has
when
it been?
from when we declared and showed Fiorella and presented Fiorella to the world. Let's say, since it's a social network, social media world
Right.
now, it's like tripled all the interactions
Right.
and all anything that was happening, right?
Right.
Then, of course, the curiosity when something is new is amazing, but I wasn't expecting like more than, I think right now we're at a point where we are more than 30 million interactions
Yep.
up to now. That is the first 9 months of the year.
Beautiful.
So for me, that is huge.
Huge. That is huge. Huge for anybody.
Okay. Huge. And right now, I feel that people are part of the story.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of, I feel like 85% of the automotive community supports the project.
Right.
Not like 50%. It's like you can feel it. It's the majority of the
Right.
community is just supporting the project. That gives me also the strength to go on. Of course, stupid comments and
Well, there's always
stra-
gonna be
and strange
dumb-
people
dumb
are
haters.
always around the corner. But hey, that's part of it. you
Right.
know?
Well, because the other thing that I was thinking about too was because you have obviously a few other cars back home that you could have probably came out here and top 16, top 8, top 4. And once again, you're driving a car that is still constantly being worked on and developed. How do you think this year would have been different if you were driving something like your FRS or your Subaru or
Yeah, I would have been respected for sure and everything, but I would have been just the guy trying selfishly, and this doesn't mean that people that are just concentrating on result are selfish. No. But I would have been just another driver that selfishly just wants to beat everybody and go back home.
Right.
To say that he's the best. You know, I'm trying to share some magic, something special with people. Also,
Right.
the struggle of building a project that is much different.
Right.
And the purpose was also to make a supercar, the supercar of everybody. You know, because Fiorella is the Ferrari of many people.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to say?
No.
So that is
She's the town
This
bicycle.
is a town bicycle.
Everybody wants to ride.
Exactly.
Well, this kind of goes back to, I think one thing that really, when I was watching some of your older videos when you said you were coming over, is you have this very traditional Japanese-esque, I'm here to put on a show, I'm here to entertain, it's about the excitement, it's about the driving, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but if results come from that, it's just another bonus. But I think you sell a different side of the sports. Well, yes, everybody's selfishly trying to just get the win. It's like for you, you're trying to.
Yes, I'm trying to share what I managed to gather in all these years in any kind of way. Plus, the result is for me as a human being and for all the people that believe. You know,
Right.
believe in me as a driver, believe in the projects, because the result give you energy. It's such a special taste when you go away from the track and you're number one. You
Right.
know? You feel so light. Everything is beautiful. All the colors are more colorful. All
Right.
the perfume are more better smell, and all the people around you are amazing and cool. You know,
Right.
when you lose, everything is gray. Everything is strange, and sometimes you lose also the perception of what you have around. You
Right.
know, so winning is important. It's very important. But
Right.
yes, I do. Today do it not only for the winning. I confirm I do want to win. I don't
Absolutely.
give the wrong impression.
Right.
But if I wanted to win, I would have not came here with Fiorella.
That's exactly what I was.
Okay.
That's kind of exactly
And
why I was
we do
asking
want
you.
to win.
Yeah.
Me, Fiorella, the team are going to win. Doesn't sound too much like
No,
a
no.
show off, but this was not the main purpose. You
Right.
know? And we got the main purpose. The main purpose is the faces of the people, their eyes, their expressions, their comments. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that if winning was the goal, you would have brought an FRS, but then you would have
Yeah.
been just
Another
another
guy.
guy with an FRS.
Yeah.
and I think you've made quite a bit of waves going down the path that you did go down. And I personally don't believe you've made a mistake at all doing that. I think for anybody entering the sport, that's probably the best way to enter it, with a shock and awe. We're doing it because we want to do it. And if you guys want to be a part of it, be a part of it. But we're doing this because this is something that we want to do as a team.
Yes.
Because once again, even going back to, we talked about Dean Kearney all the time. It's like this dude's driving a Viper, and it looks like a handful sometimes. There's not many parts out for it, but for whatever in his mind, he has this idea and vision. I'm going to take this Viper
and make it happen.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
And we hear him talking about, I want to ditch the Viper. This thing's just becoming a headache.
Yeah. There was a pretty sad photo that Larry took of him with his head in his hands in Texas. I don't know what the context of that is, but obviously that.
But you can tell he's not the happiest.
But it's also like, once again, that tail light up there. He's like, this is what we're doing. Like he gave us a tail light from, was that Texas last year actually when he came by?
Oh yeah.
It was the same situation. He was coming back
to Texas. Yeah, he came in. He's like, here, I got you guys, and he gave us a tail light off the Viper. And this is the dedication that a lot of these are doing with these unique platforms. It's like, I had to buy that tail light, and it's $600. Like, there's no factory support, so these guys still want it so bad, but they're dumping tons of resources in to be able to be the only drift Viper out there. Trying to create that relationship with Mopar, trying to grow that image, try to grow that brand. There's a lot more sacrificing that a lot of these guys are doing with these unique builds rather than just trying to win. They're trying to get more involvement in the sport with this. And it's like, once again, him and you that are trying to suck in. Because ideally, how awesome would that be to have Ferrari out here? And
of course,
speaking of which, has they showed any interest or thoughts? Or
they do.
Are they aware? They're obviously aware of what you're doing. Right?
Of course, they are well aware.
Right.
Also, because if they are not agree with a project like that, you would not be able to run a project like that without their, let's say, approval, even in silent. I have, let's say, the luck to be Italian and to be at an hour and 40 minutes from the home base, and in these years made a lot of connections and owned hopefully the respect from people that are today giving me a hand and are supporting this project officially, unofficially.
You're saying if Corey walked in there and is like, I want to build a Ferrari, they'd tell him to fuck off.
Yeah, probably.
Kind of.
I'll go, hey, where's Mr. Ferrari at?
I want to talk to Mr.
Hey, where's Mr.
Ferrari? I want to talk to.
I want to drive an Enzo.
It's very delicate topic. Not that, I mean, we can't talk about, but it's a very serious and delicate topic. It's one of probably the most delicate, unique car factories in the world, and so it needs the correct approach, touch. Absolutely. It's very delicate, but I repeat, we have them on our side, let's say. So they're watching in a positive way. They're excited.
That's that's pretty huge actually, because I can't imagine like walking into the Ferrari factory, and I'm sure you have to get approval from them, like, hey, I'm going to take your 599, I'm going to change it a lot, and I'm going to go blow tires off of it and scrape it against walls. You guys cool with that?
Well, we already saw
sure there has
what
to be
happened with Michael Essa and the BMW.
Well, see, that's the other good point. Like, that's the other good point is that's, a lot of these BMW guys are pulling the emblems off of the cars and not having any branding because BMW says we don't want any type of involvement, and you're misguiding the direction of the brand.
Yeah, and then they go out and make a bunch of car commercials with cars.
Yeah, with cars
on
sideways,
aircraft carriers and drifting and
like only we make our cars drift
in the world. Like they're just trying to do so many drifting things, which is so strange that they won't do Formula
Where
Drift.
The craziest thing, if you think about it, the people who made popular to see supercars like sliding around the track, like Top Gear. Those guys, like, they have the best cars, always are doing like these crazy reviews. But what are the best shots? The cars drifting. And that's
always drifting.
It's always drifting. That's what the car is more dynamic. I
always use this example from 3-4 years. If you think about it, many commercials have the car that goes sideways.
Right.
Yeah. Many.
Even front-wheel drive cars.
Yes,
like
they just pull the handbrake. Like, they stop like, $10,000.99 and buy it. You understand? They stop with the handbrake and the money comes out.
Yeah.
But today, it's the evolution of a car maneuver. I mean, I'm a motorsport fan. Okay, so I love GT, F1, WRC, drag racing, autocross, anything that pops in your mind, or oval racing, and whatever. Said this, the drifting is something that right now is growing uncomparably to any kind of other motorsport in the last 15 years.
It is the fastest growing motorsport right now.
So it's obvious. It's pretty obvious, right?
Looks like
Right.
Mike has a
I'm
little bit of
putting
noise.
Mike in the wrong
No, you're
place.
good. There you go.
I'm good
No,
now.
No, you're good.
Awesome.
So that was an interesting conversation. And has Ferrari, and you've been to the Ferrari headquarters, right?
Yeah.
And you've talked to some people at Ferrari.
Yeah, not necessarily about Fiorella.
Right.
We different places where we have the occasions to meet, and it's a very big company.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably not the easiest
I mean,
either.
you don't go there, ring the bell, and
Hey, here's
get
Mr.
in an
Ferrari come
office.
walking down.
No. So
Are you planning on doing that though when you get back home? Are you planning on approaching them and discussing with them?
I'm planning on working hard and giving them no excuses to not approve the project. You understand?
Right.
And to not continue to support the projects like right now they're doing. How they're already supporting. They're supporting the project by not denying me to do it.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Because they're not going to sound
you know?
like on like the Toyota, supporting people with a bunch of 8.6s and providing them with factory sponsorship.
No.
Because the demographic for most people in Formula Drift is possibly you can afford an 8.6, but Ferrari doesn't have a lot of incentive to provide you with free Ferraris because there's not a lot of kids that can afford one.
Yep.
But they definitely can make it hard for you or impossible for you to run your car if you don't have their blessing.
Yes, exactly. So already having their blessing for me is an approval. Then I have the backup. What does it mean, a backup? It means that when I need spare parts, spare parts are available quickly in the best conditions anywhere in the world. I mean, this is a lot of help.
Wow.
And I'm just working really hard to get the maximum respect from people that are respected from the whole world, for what they do.
I think the biggest part is that you're not the typical Ferrari driver that everybody thinks like, oh, somebody has a Ferrari, must be an asshole. And you go on and like, don't lean in my car. Most people.
I don't think Ferrari drivers are like that.
Yeah,
you don't, but that's
a BMW driver.
No, BMW driver doesn't. They don't turn signals. They don't.
No, I think.
But you say more like a Ferrari, like a supercar owner. They're more posh.
I feel like that's a Lamborghini driver. I've never met a dickhead Ferrari driver.
I think.
Thank you, Sam.
Not that Sam Humanet's a dickhead. He's a good guy too. I'm just saying that the Lamborghini, in my mind, has that more of like the dickhead essence.
Well, but I'm talking about supercar, like the supercar owner mentality. They're usually more posh, more and you're not. You're accessible. You're
but just
nice
in
to
real
everybody.
talk, though, I haven't met. I guess because most of supercar owners that I do meet are enthusiasts of the sport. I haven't really met a dickhead supercar owner.
Yeah, but you most of the time you meet them, you are there for them. You're like part of like the production team. Like you rarely meet them as a fan that just like, oh, look at the car.
I'm 50-50 because I think they buy the car because of that experience.
Yeah,
and I think they're passionate about it. I think some Corvette guys are actually worse than some Ferrari.
I agree. Yeah, absolutely.
And because that's I saved my last $35,000 to buy a supercar, but I couldn't get a Ferrari. I think the people who get a Ferrari are pretty proud about it, and I have some really cool stories about some Ferrari. Actually, Enzo's first came out. A dude came out with an Enzo, and I was working at the racing school, and it's like, dude, he won actually the Enzo.
Well, that category. I mean, when you have an Enzo, if you are, and it was if you're an asshole. Sorry, the bad word.
No, but the thing was, here's a real car enthusiast. This is a real car enthusiast guy. He knows what he has, and at the time I was probably 17 or 18 years old or something like that.
But you were already an instructor.
I was an instructor, but the thing for me was he just goes, just sit and go drive it. He wanted me to experience that.
Yes, he wanted to
because
share
he
with
wanted
you
to share.
his achievement of his object.
And I think that is what a real supercar owner is
Yep.
he knows what he has.
Yeah.
He was there at one point drooling over these cars. He was able to tame it. Let me give you a piece of what I got so you can go earn it. I think that's a super corner. Yes, there's stereotypes all over the world, but
For sure.
I've had tons of experience where people were more than willing to say, please,
Yeah.
please, please.
But it goes again. Like I mean,
Because it's also very lonely. Sorry if I
Yeah.
interrupt
No,
you,
no,
but
no,
it's
no.
very lonely to just keep for yourself such objects, places, achievements you've got, you know?
Right.
So these kind of category people love to share, not everybody, but sometimes when you're fortunate and lucky enough to meet the ones that love to share their wisdom, their fortune with you as objects, that's good, you know? It's genuine people.
So we have Wade Wilson that just popped up in the Facebook chat. He goes, Federico let my son sit in Fiorella at Pro Down, Bro Down, New Jersey this year. He's definitely not a typical Ferrari guy.
but see what I'm saying. I mean,
Well, that's because
Thank you, man.
we're steering them to believe that. But it was once again, it's that kid will probably never forget that, and I'm sure the dude took tons of
Definitely.
pictures of it.
Yeah.
And I think that is what a true car enthusiast, no matter what it is able to share with the
But
younger
what's-
generation.
You know, I love it, but to be honest, what's so special? I mean, it must be so. It's such a normal thing.
Yeah.
From my point of view.
Well, but
you
also-
know
but
what's
you're also from
not
Italy.
special? You know what's not special? People that deny it.
Right.
That's the sad part.
Oh, for sure.
I mean,
Yep.
special is if I could have the chance to, when the kid pops in the car, turn on the car and go and burn 2 tires right
Right.
away. That's
Right.
special.
Right.
Yeah.
But not opening the door to him and make him jump in my car.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's normal.
Well,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
mean,
It
like, if you
absolutely
think
is.
of, for example, like the very, very first time I ever stand close to a Ferrari, it was a friend of mine. His dad bought one. It was a
Right.
360 Modena,
Yeah.
brand new. So
Modena.
Yeah, Modena.
Which are still kind of in a sick way my favorite. The 360 Modena Challenge Totale.
Bravo,
Oh.
Sam! Bravo, bravo.
I heard they're
Oe.
they're not one of the best performing compared to the other modern ones, and especially
Yeah.
compared to like the 430. But there's something about that car that's special to me. Maybe because of when I first saw it, you know,
Yeah.
as being a kid and finally starting to care about cars. That car was like the ultimate pinnacle of cars.
Yeah, so I remember, you
Yeah.
know, like the first time I was like, yeah, come check it out. And I went to his house and I saw it and he's like, yeah, get in it. I was like, holy shit. Like, I mean, I've never been close to a Ferrari at all. And now here's a brand new one and I'm being allowed to sit on it.
Well-
And he's like, yeah, like, here's the keys, fire it up. I was like, too
Right.
much. you
Well,
know?
here's the other thing too: is I bet most people around the world never have a chance to sit in a Ferrari.
Real
Well,
quick, one
I
of the
think it's
silliest things
special.
about the 360, and I'm sure Fede, you can attest to this, is the 360 is hilarious because when you don't have a manual one, I don't think most of them are manual.
Yep.
The little shifter to put it into drive,
The
and
tiny little-
it's just a little tick tick. It's just like the tiniest thing.
It's so easy to
in the world. It
break.
is.
You know, that little thing.
Yeah.
They modified it at the end, but it is not easy. Yeah, to put it. It's true. It's true. That little knob, right?
Little-
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's the silliest, tiniest lever for such a powerful, fun car.
They were trying to make a statement. Like, we're getting rid of the gated shifter.
Yeah.
We're going to the PDK.
Yes.
Get a tiny little shifter. But anyways, yeah. I mean, the point I was trying to make is that you are an approachable guy. You are definitely the kind of driver that allows people to approach, to say hi.
I love to share. I
Yeah.
love to share
There you go.
Fiorella because I worked so hard, and I'm working so hard for
love
this.
it.
Why in the heck I should just keep it for myself? How sad is that?
Dude,
Really, how sad is that?
I mean, you even gave us pieces of Fiorella. I have
Yeah.
right here a
That's-
bolt.
oh, what's that?
Yes,
This is
that's the bolt.
the bolt that broke
The mess.
that caused
Yes.
this to catch on fire.
What is that? Bust that thing open.
Let's go check it out. So hold this for me, Corey.
Do you want to hold this? Do you want to look at this, or is that just kind of?
This one is covered in fire
Keep it.
suppressant.
Yep.
But
So this was the part of the knuckle, right?
Yes.
That ended up breaking.
Yeah, that snapped when I hit Chelsea. That one completely snapped. the upper arm came out. The ball, the tire came back and went up when I hit the wall and ripped a tube.
And then gas sprayed everywhere and
then all the world knows what happened after.
Oh, you made it on Top Gear. You made it on every major.
Well, we made it on
that
Top
was
Gear
gonna-
also before. They support us. They're awesome, actually. But at the same time, we made it anywhere. Before the fire, after the fire. No, so before the fire, during the fire, and after the fire. Pretty important.
that's what matters, you know, being there all the time. So yeah, that was an AEM intake. One of the two
yes.
that were in the fire. The other
Hey,
one probably
Chris.
disappeared. Probably
Yes.
got consumed.
Yeah.
But
No, it really held well. It really
yeah, we have a
held
lot
well.
of, obviously, as you can see, we have some pieces. We have a tail. We have the Kristaps
Jack stand.
Oh, that's the one he ran
That's the
over?
one he ran
Yeah,
No
over.
way.
Yeah,
See?
and then those are Corey's.
Those are
Corey's
those are Paco's
bearings.
glasses. Show him those glasses real quick, Paco. So before Paco got these glasses right here,
I didn't even see the word
Okay,
glasses.
hold on.
Oh no, here we go.
Hold on, Sam. You know what we're gonna show.
I know exactly what you're doing.
All right. Before Paco got wear them real quick. So before he got those glasses, he had those glasses.
They're glass bearings.
Yep. So then you have this little hook right here, and that's how you grab them to pull them on, and then you just can slide them.
Give him a kiss for luck.
Yeah, you want to taste one?
Yeah, they're real dirty.
Guys.
Sometimes they get dirty, so you have to put them in your mouth to clean the lenses off.
You pull one by one
Hold
like
on.
this.
And then, do you want to know one of the best pieces of racing
dude.
equipment we have up there? That right there. Do you know what that is?
Well, that's a football ball.
Oh,
right?
you think it is a football?
You silly.
You think that's a football?
This is active suspension.
Huh?
You see the marks?
This is right before Ferrari technology. But go ahead,
is
tell him.
Adjustable dampening
Where-
suspension for the tofu drift van.
Oh
So
my-
tell him what
Are
you
you
did with it.
joking?
Listen,
Oh,
listen.
tell
no,
me
no.
I got
Listen,
it.
listen.
No, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Be honest.
So listen.
You put it there.
These were inside the springs of the tofu drift van, and then you could adjust the dampening by pumping more or less air, and it drifted. Yeah.
I don't know what you do
I'm
for
shocked.
Italian engineering, Fede, but this is called Mexican
So he
engineering.
flattened it, shoved it in the
Special.
spring, and then inflated it to get a stiffer ride out of the car.
But well,
It worked great.
So guys, to be honest, this is anyway like almost like a genius. You understand?
It's a little bit slap.
No, wait. It's almost like a genius stuff, but at the same time, it scares the hell out of me
As it should.
to think where this man could arrive. Okay.
Well, look where I'm at right now.
Yeah, sure. Can I give this back to him before he gives me
Do you
silly
need it?
ideas
Do you need
and
it for a
you
window?
guys, just pump
can
down
use
the
it.
head and there's a
I'm just
football ball.
saying. Next time you have troubles with Fiorella,
Yeah.
and you guys are like
A
stuck.
football ball. You just shove in a
Well,
football ball.
I
and
don't know.
it's
Just
done.
ask me. I might come up with something. You know, maybe tennis balls up the exhaust.
Yeah, he has Paco's.
It's usually balls somehow.
I call him the Walmart tuner. Anything he gets at Walmart, he can
I
make
can,
it
I
work.
can, I can get
Oh my
everything
God.
from Home Depot and Walmart to make your car.
Home Depot. I did the ramps in my trailer. For,
Oh, there you go.
at
Yeah,
at Home Depot.
PVC
man.
piping for the turbo.
That was
for
awesome.
For the intake.
Yeah, so we have a pretty sweet collection. It's grown little by little over the years
got a lot of
of some.
stuff.
Neat
We got
stuff.
a new one right there. It's
one?
Dylan Hughes.
Oh, yep.
The
piece
side
of
skirt.
Side skirt.
Odie's rear bumper when he had only 600 horsepower. He had 1,000 horsepower LOL because he was only running 600 2 years ago.
Turks.
So he ended up breaking that off, and then we stole Ryan Turk's third place trophy from Long
Forsberg's
Beach.
house.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, we stole that too.
I think he still doesn't know we have it.
But how come he doesn't know? For sure he knows. Ryan, they got your trophy
Don't let
here,
him know
man.
that.
Well,
No, he knows, but he says it's
Whatever, man.
okay to leave it here for the show.
okay.
Yep, so we-
Sorry, I walked away for a second, but he definitely knows, and he's gonna come and get that when you
I-
least expect
Well,
it.
bring it.
Right.
We're trying to lure him into coming in the studio. So
Yep, we'll lock
yeah, we
him
have
in.
all kinds of
awesome.
memorabilia, if you may.
Very awesome.
Look
The
at all the-
studio
all the
is
spaghetti.
really cool. I love it.
Thank you. Glad you can make it, man. I mean, it's good to see you
Yeah,
here.
it was awesome that you guys invited me and gave me the chance to pass and tell some stories to the people listening.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, I think we'll even going forward next year. I know you're talking about it, but what would you like to do?
Come earlier,
Wait.
stronger,
Yep,
fresher, and
faster.
Well, if we go even faster, I mean, we
Right
go
now
back
it's
to the
fast.
future.
Yeah.
I mean, trust me, we get out of the gate. in Texas, we were getting out of the gate. We were like, I mean,
Slow down.
it was like, okay. It was like- it was interesting. And then, yeah, earlier, fresher, better, stronger, and
Formula Drift,
Formula
Pro
Drift.
One,
Yeah.
any party events. Any.
What about grid life?
I am actually thinking of making some party cars.
Uh-huh.
You should. You
I
absolutely
know,
should.
I know. Of course, Fiorella can be a car that can
she
be
likes to
shared.
party.
She likes to party, absolutely. But at the same time, we try to keep her for the main event.
Partying
the race.
with her might be gets pretty pricey, probably.
Like that other guy
Yeah.
said, you still got down though at the Bro Down after New Jersey, so that didn't
Yes.
stop you partying there.
Yes, absolutely. At the same time, you understand that it's a car that the more you keep her for the big battles, the better it is.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking of making some passenger car, a 4-seat car,
Yep.
and also making a, let's say, competition car, but that does not compete in races, but can be, ready for any kind of need,
Yeah.
shows or stuff like that. So
Are
it's not
speaking
easy.
of shows, are you going to be at SEMA this year?
I am physically gonna be there. Yes, I want to
But
come.
in spirit, you're gonna be somewhere else.
Yes,
Or
Well,
I thought it's the other
it's
way. You're gonna be there.
I'm
Just
gonna be
messing with
there.
you.
I'm gonna be there. And Fiorella, I don't think she's gonna be there. But hey, anything can happen. Any surprises? Also because of the fact that she has to go back home. Probably she will be at the Bologna Motor Show. That is
Bologna?
That sounds delicious.
There's
Yeah.
a Bologna show?
Bologna Motor Show. It's a very big motorsport show that we have in December at the
In
end of the
Italy.
year in Italy. And there is a F1, WRC, GT, rally.
Didn't
everything.
you just had like some drift Matsuri in Italy?
Yes.
Like a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
So I organize from 3 or 4 years now these pure drift Matsuris, and there's many things going on in Italy as minor or a little bit bigger drift events. But I wanted to create something really genuine to start from somewhere and to set a real base. And so I created the Drift Matsuri. Matsuri means a party. In Japanese. So I do it mainly during the off season. I start them in September to arrive to February, March. It's almost once a month where I got all the Italian Grassroots guys that come and enjoy the track at €100 all day, the open track in and out, what you want. It's a proper track. I mean, it's very good, for the prices that we got back home. Then I prepare them I call it like Driftland with a figure of 8 and the 0. So also people that don't even know how to do a donut can come, enjoy. Nobody judges nobody. I mean, like, he's a beginner, he sucks, or he doesn't suck in that way. I put a very genuine atmosphere. It's working. We're almost 70 cars last time.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
So it's interesting. I also do that because, I got a lot of spare time, so I also thought about
Hey.
creating a drift Matsuri.
Nice.
Yeah.
We have a couple questions on YouTube, some super chat questions.
we should do that and go in Instagram questions, and then I don't think we should end the show, but we should definitely discuss From the Drift Texas a little bit. And
Yeah.
usually we don't have our guest on for that, but since you're in the studio, you don't got a choice.
Take that.
But we have one that has been a little while from James Mayer. He's asking, sway bars or no? Maybe loosening them up for some side bite, and for your 100th lap, you need to do a 360 off the bank. So come off the bank, 360, and keep
360
going.
and go.
Yeah.
Okay. So for the 360, I'll think about it because we only have 12 laps, and I blew 1 lap for the 360.
But it'll be
So I'll try-
glorious.
It's true, but it's also
Celebratory.
glorious if at the second lap I can get kind of a 100-point lap. That's glorious in the same way, man. So that's the 360 story. The other one, what was the other question?
He was
next
asking if you have
question.
sway bars on your car.
yeah.
Do you have
No, I don't from 3 events, but I put them on. I pull them off. I'm always playing with the car and touching it and trying new setups.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yep.
And the next question is from one of our content creators, Frank J. Mirabelli.
Yep.
He's asking, pitting next to Fede most of the season, I can say without question, he's the most approachable and genuine driver, the nicest and humble man I know. Frank,
Wow.
that was the nicest
What a
thing I
nice
ever heard
thing,
you
Thank
say.
Frank.
you. Thank you so much. And to be honest, I don't ask and don't search for these words, but these words make me feel very good. Thank you.
Yeah, you're the total opposite of Sam, because Sam just...
Frank, I am the most humble person I know. You piece of shit. No, Frank is an awesome guy.
You got that wrong, Frank.
Let's hit some Instagram questions real quick. Let's see
That
what-
leads actually.
You ready for some
I wanted to
Instagram?
ask this. This is a topic of conversation I wanted to spend some time with, anyways, and this is asked right away by DriftSet716. He says, "Fede, what have you done to improve the car over the past few rounds? Because it's been looking better and better every event."
Well, we went on the dyno at Auto Talent in LA and really refined. We stayed 3 days on the dyno, like 6 hours per day. And I mean, my heart
Does
was,
that make you nervous? Does Dinos...
oh my god! Every time that
Okay,
that
good,
Koji-san
good.
looked at me and said, "Okay, one more time,"
Yeah.
That's the most nerve-wracking,
I mean,
yeah.
and then actually, when I started seeing the car better and better, I was the guy saying like, "Can we do it one more time?"
Oh my God. Yeah.
And then you start, in that loop.
Yeah.
Then you start in that loop of the 10, 15 horsepower more of the, more lean, more rich, go with the engine timing. So we went with a little bit more horsepower, but more than horsepower, we cleaned the map 200 revs per 200 revs. Okay, so
Okay.
very detailed tuning we did. Then I passed from 20 inch to 18 inch.
Yep.
With a taller shoulder, so the shoulder of the tire, the wall of the tire, flexes, and it gives me a much more forward bite. Adjustments, of course, and as I say, I'm always there, touching it, clicking it, moving it,
Yeah.
screwing it. So I finding a good feeling. I'm trying to give to the team the best feedback that I can give. And we're moving forward. So, and I'm really glad that you guys see it. That's really motivating. That's really motivating because many cars are continuous improving, but to show you guys a huge improvement like that, you need really a big step.
Nice. So I have a super chat question, which is something actually it's funny because I told you the same thing at Grid Life. This is from Romero Salvador and saying, Fede, would you consider building an older Maserati Quattroporte as a party car?
Yes, I really would.
They're super cheap here in the States. I don't know. I imagine in Italy they should be cheaper.
Well, I don't know what your super cheap is, Paco.
Like
what's your...
Paco's rich as
Yeah,
fuck.
Paco's
Yeah,
rich.
there you go. Why didn't you tell me before, guys? What are we talking about?
$8,000 to $10,000 for a one that doesn't run.
I couldn't even. I can't find them. Where do you search?
Well,
Like a stolen one, $10,000.
no, they're good.
Yeah.
With
Yeah,
the guy, they say, "Wait, where are the keys?"
Yeah, there's no keys. You
Go.
hit these-
The guy
hit these
running.
wires
Yeah,
together.
exactly. Wires there.
we have
10,000.
we have this LS400 for you. That's free, right?
That's
Brian?
awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah,
We're-
just consider it.
We're gonna talk about
Alright,
it. That
we'll
after
talk about
better.
that one.
Yep. So it can be an interesting car. Yep.
Should we, Sam, should I hit him with some Instagram heat?
Hit him with some heaters.
Okay, because I want to start off Iron Dookies because
Let's go.
It's always good to start off with the Dukesters, as he always has really good questions. And it seems like he's been to Italy quite a few times. That's why he's asking this. But he goes, is it true that every Italian person getting... Hold on. Let me start that over.
I'm sitting.
Is it true
It's
that
already
every
started good.
Italian person gets their own Olive Garden restaurant when they turn 16 years old?
Gets their own.
Olive Garden restaurant.
It's like once you turn 16,
You
here's
don't get your
Olive Garden.
license, here's your Olive Garden.
The Olive Garden.
Well, you never been?
No, unfortunately, no. I'm sorry. I'm
All
sorry.
right, we're gonna end this show
I'm
early.
sorry. I'm
We're
sorry.
We're
They're
going
already
to
told-
Olive Garden.
You take that man to Olive Garden, please.
We
You're
are-
missing out on some authentic mom and pop home Italian cooking. Okay.
Are you sure?
We were actually
Is it
thinking
like
about...
some
we-
stuff like ketchup on spaghetti stuff
Well,
like
we were
that?
thinking either about
Better.
doing...
Better.
we were
Oh,
thinking about
okay.
either going to Olive Garden tonight or making you spaghetti with hot dogs.
Oh my god.
Ooh, have you ever had that? Is that a staple in Italy or no?
Because if
It
you
was
say
the
no,
answer.
if you say no, then we're having Hawaiian pizza.
Okay.
Have you had
The
Hawaiian pizza before?
Yes.
Okay.
I have.
Well,
Have
from,
you had
from
fast
where?
food pizza before from here?
Yes, I
Okay,
have.
okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes,
see,
I have.
Hawaiian pizza is good. It just has to be from a good place.
Man.
Because
It can be good.
Dude, I love pineapple and Canadian bacon.
I'm
I understand
shocked,
that there's
so
a lot of people that
So
really
good.
like to poo-poo
No,
on
I mean,
Hawaiian pizza.
I
mean,
respect
it's-
exactly. I respect anything, Sam. You know,
yeah.
but
there's a time
Except
and a place
pineapple
for
on the
certain
pizza.
things. There's rarely a
You're
time and a
awesome.
place for Hawaiian pizza, but
You're
like
awesome.
you can put gummy bears on a pizza, but you shouldn't.
exactly. And it's almost for me. It's almost like at the same balance, a pineapple and a gummy bear on a pizza.
Yeah.
Oh, just don't do it. Or a scorpion and a sucker. Either way, it's
Yeah, we got to hear.
yeah. Don't
about-
do it.
There you go.
Don't do it. I got one. This is from Max Frolic. RB or 2JZ?
2J.
Why?
I like more the bottom power, but the RB, as an RB screams, the nothing else screams like an RB, like a real good RB.
RB, Corey's, you know what's Corey's favorite RB?
The 5 for 5 deal.
RB melt.
Yeah, RB melt 5 for
RB
5.
roast beef.
Beef and cheddar.
And cheddar.
Come on.
You ever been to an Arby's?
No.
I have. Okay, so
Okay.
what's the most American thing you've done since you've been in the United States?
Have you been shooting
Well,
guns yet?
Have you shot guns?
In-N-Out burgers, maybe?
In-N-Out Burger's pretty
Okay,
American.
okay.
What else?
I've done loads of American stuff, but what can we say?
How different is it in Italy? Like, would you be like, God damn, if I was in Italy and got caught doing this?
I woke up in a ranch, and instead of dogs, there were horses waiting for me out of the door, you know,
Yeah.
and they were like acting like two normal dogs, but they were like instead two big, huge horses in a ranch,
Okay.
waiting for water and their food. So I've done that. It's awesome.
What do you think of the nickname the Italian Stallion? Is that too burnout?
No,
Actually, I have a question
Yeah.
right here. Username Taylor Hall. Is it true that Federico Sceriffo has taken over the Sylvester Stallone as the new Italian stallion? Is it
I
true?
would say so.
that's a big, you know.
Or why don't we make up another
That's a bit
Italian nickname?
The Italian,
Stallion. We should make up our
the
own.
Italian pony.
Well, you can play a lot with the fact of the surname. You know, Jared says sometimes the sheriff because my
Yep,
surname means
yep.
sheriff in English.
Yep.
The fact of the
Gunslinger. Because Corey's a yogurt slinger.
Let's see.
But the Italian style, I like Rocky. I like the movie. So
Right.
Rocky-
up to you guys.
So you can be
And so
Rocco.
what is the
Rocco.
hey
Rocco.
Federico.
There you go.
Rock,
Rocco's good.
Rocco. That's his dog's name. He's named
Yeah.
after a porn star.
Like the porn star.
I wonder when Fetty was born, they're like, we should name him Rocco. Gave birth to a giant penis with a baby attached to it. Oh, we got to name him Rocco. No, we'll name him Fetty instead. As they're just carrying you by this massive... They wrap your penis up in a blanket thinking that's the baby. Oh, no, the
my
wrong
God,
baby.
sorry.
I was just like trying to sleep him.
Yeah, put the baby to sleep.
things
Sorry.
went
Yep.
things went like
Yep.
really from
Yeah.
bad to worse. Sam,
They get that
where
way.
are
They
you,
get that way.
Sam?
I'm sorry.
Yes, there he is. Oh, look at Sam, that silver-haired fox.
Usually I'm the voice of reason on the show, Fede, as I'm sure
Sure.
everyone can attest to, right?
Of course, that's why I was searching for you. You know.
Mhm.
I have a real question right here
Yep.
from Milwaukee Andy.
Wow.
How much spaghetti does your crew go through per event?
I think half a kilo.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's
How
36
much is that?
pounds.
How much
Or
is that in
kilo.
cocaine?
36 pounds.
36 pounds.
Un kilo. Di più. Quanto?
Hold on.
Veloce.
What it-
It's like
2 kilos per week.
2
2
and a half
kilos.
pounds.
2 kilos
Your
per week.
spaghetti manager is chiming in. I
Yes,
hear in the
yes.
background.
Yes,
Full time.
exactly.
Because I mean, for reals, you guys eat spaghetti for lunch.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Every
it's-
FD.
I mean,
And it's delicious.
yeah, it's delicious. We had
really good
was that a
spaghetti.
carbonara?
In
Carbonara.
Atlanta.
It was so
Yes,
good.
because
Can
I can
I have
keep
some more in Irwindale since it's going to be a little while since I have track spaghetti again?
absolutely confirmed.
Track spaghetti. Spaghetti.
Also,
Spaghetti confirmed.
spaghetti confirmed. Thank God.
Absolutely. it's also a way to keep the team together, eat all at the same time. Not get them walking around searching for food. Did you have food? No, not now. I'm not hungry now. Let me finish this. No, everybody sit down at the same time. Food. Everything happens in 20 minutes. Of course, in the backstage, there is a work of 30, 40 minutes to prepare.
Right.
But everything happens in 20, 30 minutes. We're ready to start again, and that's good. It's working.
I got a question here from you. Do you know Jake Driftquid Jones? Jake Jones?
Yes.
Left this comment here for you. Honestly, want to know how you feel about this year overall. You have obviously been through a lot before, as I've known. But this year you've been hit with everything, and I'm keen to know, that's Australian, I'm keen to know what your honest opinion is about the entire year as a whole. The drifting US, the community, the new sponsors, the supports, the fans. Tell me it all.
Serious question.
Well, Jake, you have the way to also ask me in private this, and I've been hit with many things that happened. Yes, as you know, but I'm not scared of making it happen and being here and challenging all these things. So instead of maybe asking me what happened, why don't you come here and give it a try?
Yeah.
I'm waiting for you, man.
Being called Drift Squid.
That is awesome.
Get your ass in here.
Okay.
See, that's the thing is, I'm not afraid of what's going to happen. I'm just going to do it.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
God, it's a good answer. God.
Don't learn it on my shoulders. Come here and learn it, man.
We're gonna have to ask him in person.
Okay.
That's such a good answer.
Jake.
God, dang it.
All right.
That answer blew me away, Fetty. That was well. That's
Buonissimo.
Yeah.
can't get it much better than that. Why don't you just stop being scared and just do it?
Yes.
Don't be afraid. Whatever. Anything could happen. Just do it. Whatever.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
A
Dude.
question right here from Ben Tranter. Is the Maximum Driftcast studio everything you expected and more?
It's much better.
Wow.
And Sam, I confirm. I mean, he's rich as fuck. You get here. I mean, things are like, there is Vange, Parque on the road. I mean, things on the wall. I mean, it's. I get it now.
Shaggy walls.
I get it now.
It's
I
2F.
get it now.
It's
I
all
get
the
it.
2F.
He's either rich or he keeps on. He's a kleptomaniac. Which
Everything's stolen here.
He
No,
steals from everyone.
it's an awesome place, guys. It's an awesome place, and actually, I have to say, and it's a moment to say it. They are the first ones that gave me the chance to start to talk to USA, to start sharing information with the big scene here. So I feel home here.
Absolutely.
With Paco, with Corey. Sam is awesome. He's not here right now, so
He's here.
I'm here in spirit.
yes,
spirit.
I know. Physically, because we're gonna have fun. When this, we're gonna finish the episode.
Well,
we're
I
not gonna be
imagine
here.
you're coming here. You're on your way to California.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna see you at RS probably at some point this week. Right?
Yeah, I think it could happen Wednesday morning for the coffee, right?
I'm actually gonna be there Wednesday morning.
There you go.
Boom.
It's about time you show up to work, Sam.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
dude, don't
Plug
even
it.
joke right now.
Plug-
I'm
Dude,
working through the
don't even.
podcast, Corey.
Hey, plug it, Sam. What's
Don't
that
even.
coffee thing?
Oh, we do it every Wednesday. Come on down to RS, get some coffee, the best coffee in LA, in my opinion, Minotti's Coffee.
Yeah.
And also, we've been doing simulators there, setting up from some of our buddies, and we have sim racing as well. So usually do head-to-head VR sim racing every Wednesday morning. Race service. It's in Midtown
No
LA.
way. I'm coming to do some simulator.
Yeah.
See, I wish you were staying the weekend because we have a local event out here and we could have drove together.
I think Chris from AEM wants to take me to some race, to see some race this weekend.
really? Well.
Some dirt race.
Yeah, everybody
Oh,
wants
there
a
you
piece
go.
of
See,
you.
that'd be American. Go do some sprint car racing out there.
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
And then I might be, and you're going to stay in California all the way through Irwindale. You're not going back home, right?
No, I am.
You are going to go back home.
Yes, I am
Oh
going
my
back
God.
home.
Such a busy man.
We have how much time before Irwindale? We have literally 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Yeah.
3
Oh,
weeks.
man, that's it.
Well, it's gonna be decided this week, but 99% I'm going back home. Yeah, and
Go
then
home
coming
for
back
just,
right away.
Go home for 4 days, 5 days.
6, 7 days. Check that everything is all right.
Can you
and-
bring Rocco for Irwindale?
I wish.
I think that's
I
tough
wish.
to bring a dog on a plane for
But
14 hours.
actually, it's tough to bring a bulldog like a pug because they have this breathing.
The breathing problem.
Yeah, and they're not allowed physically on planes.
Really?
Paco has
I'm
a-
working on a air cargo.
Really?
Yeah, no, I'm not joking. I'm not gonna buy it soon. I'm probably
right.
not gonna buy it all my life. But it's a dream of mine to buy the air cargo, so I can just shove the car in the trailer and fly wherever I need with all my stuff, and
Nice.
that's it.
Yep.
It's really easy.
Easy, yeah.
I swear, it's really
Well,
easy, and it costs more per year
Yeah.
to maintain it than buy it.
I bet.
Huh.
I swear. And all the air cargo, it's an awesome thing. I hope I didn't give any crazy cool idea to some drifter that can afford it now. But, that's a dream of mine.
It's not
Yeah.
a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy that
International
pugs
drivers.
can't fly across flying planes because of their breathing thing.
I didn't know that.
Because
Well, I mean,
Sam, I was gonna say that
I would've brought him.
they let Paco fly with his breathing thing.
Yeah, and I have a breathing issue.
Huh,
Oh,
Sam?
man. Corey, did you tell me you sent me that?
No, I sent Sam an audio of you sleeping.
Well, I sent.
He's Nord's aggressive. He's
And
aggressive.
Corey was like, "Do you miss this?" And it gave me PTSD hearing
Well,
that noise once again.
I should have sent you the video of Corey and Kaylee snoring
Well, I know
together.
Corey and Kaylee are a whole other breed amongst themselves because Kaylee
And
is
you
is
can
a
tell
petite
who's
Asian
who.
woman, and Corey is Corey, and they both sound similar in their snoring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can't tell who's who, which is just it's
See,
awesomely cool.
See, but mine's a consistent. Like I would consider mine more like the static on a TV. Just let it go in the background, and it plays.
Yeah, it's not. AKA is nonstop.
Paco's is a, and then he wakes up and he sits up and looks around.
But you know what's the best part? This weekend, check this out. Okay, I have the
He's
best.
one of the ones that looks around
Yeah, he
like,
got up.
"What's not me?" I mean,
I have
must
the
be
best.
something
I have the
around.
best story.
Hold
Listen
on,
to this.
listen to
Okay,
this.
check this out.
This is a good story.
Probably was like 4 a.m. I woke up suddenly because I'm choking. I open my eyes and Corey is looking at me eating cookies.
I woke up. I rolled.
That's so creepy.
And he's just like, and I was
Oh my
like,
God.
"Are you having a midnight snack?" He's like,
Oh my
Finish
God.
eating his
Did
cookies.
you go to Buc-ee's
5
across the
seconds
street?
later,
Yes,
he's dead again.
yes.
So we
and
went
you
to.
were just watching him sleep.
Dude, I woke up. I don't even remember eating the cookies. I must have been sleep eating or something, laying in bed. Because I did wake up and had like chocolate crumbs next to my pillow. As I was like- but I went to Buc-ee's. There was like, dude, Buc-ee's has lemon pepper
The
beef jerky. And then they
Yeah,
said,
Buc-ee's
oh, they
is
have the
great.
best chocolate chip
cookies
cookies.
and-
And so I was like, all right, we'll just stock up in our hotel room for the weekend. And of course, they have the nightstand next to the bed, so we left all the food. And yeah, I guess I was sleep eating as Paco was waking up choking on his tongue.
You were choking on
I
a
was
bag of
choking on a bag
cookies.
of chocolate cookies. Yeah, so that you can more than welcome to stay with us anytime you guys want. It's a bunch of
It sounds.
It's awesome.
It sounds whatever. Okay.
It's not ideal.
No,
No.
at all.
Sam,
No.
don't be scared. Oh, I could show another video of sleeping on your couch, Sam, if I have to.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I'm down for that video.
You're the one that they want to show at the end of the world.
I might.
Corey
I
farted
do.
on my face. I
I
got it on
did
video.
not.
He woke
No, he
me
didn't fart
up.
on his face. No, Corey farted you awake. There's a big difference.
Yeah,
It's even
that's,
worse.
that's what I did. That's
And you
what I
woke
did.
up with a start, and you like looked around the room like you
I
thought there
was
was an
so
earthquake.
startled. Like he literally farted so loud that he woke me up.
No.
And I
Yeah.
woke up so scared, like, and he got all that on video.
Oh
It's
my God.
so
Yeah,
embarrassing.
I couldn't believe it
Nah,
either. Yep. Sorry,
Speaking-
this
It
is
makes
just
me
American things. This is just American things, Fatty.
Go
I'm
for
sorry.
it. Go for it.
you have
No.
you have more questions? Yes.
Oh yeah, I gotta look one more
Speaking
time.
of
We've got one or two
lemon
more.
pepper, we have a question from
Lemon party?
Yep.
Have you had lemon party wings before?
No.
Okay, good.
Calm down, Corey. So we have a question from Greg Brissell. What is the biggest change or changes that you've made to the car
What's up,
from
Greg?
round one? What's up, Greg? From round one, and what change to the car has made the biggest impact? Because the car is definitely getting faster and faster.
The biggest change probably is the last tuning and the dimension of the tires and other things that I can't say in case somebody else wants to build a 5.9.
Yeah.
The hacks.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's talk about those hacks.
Frank Mirabelle just sent me a photo. I don't want to give PTSD to Fede for this. Look at that. Ooh.
What's that?
You gave Frank the burnt fender
Yeah.
of Fiorella.
Yeah.
So
were
you
just
know it.
showing
You
us.
don't have to see it. But
Yeah.
he's just like,
It's
oh,
okay.
look what I just found. So thanks,
Just
Frank.
move on.
Yeah.
Thank you, Frank. That's very. We're so pumped now. Do you get the cover for that headlight, or is still like just like?
No, it's just like
It's one-eyed Willie.
yes,
It's winking at you.
it's winking at you.
You can really barely tell.
So let's. Do you guys want to jump in to our regular conversation about what we're gonna have about Texas? And Fede, you can just join
Yeah.
in. And
I just
So-
wanted to. I just want to mention, in the bigger Formula Drift scheme, as the foundation of our show, the championship is still not decided, which is pretty cool. Osbo did not win the event, but neither did Dean. Because if Dean would have won the event, that would have decided it pretty much. So there still is only a 49-point gap between Freddie and Dean. So it's not decided entirely. Granted, it is a pretty big gap, but stranger things have happened. And Peter is also in some, I don't know, I guess Dean would probably have to not really show up at all for Peter to win. But Peter, it's pretty much a guaranteed 2 Wordhouse end of season podium, which is pretty nuts. And then everyone else is kind of stacked up behind there. But it's going to be Peter, Freddie,
James for the
and
championship.
James on the championship season podium. But it's not decided, which is pretty cool. Because a lot of times we've gone into Irwindale without much of excitement in the terms of who's going to win the final race.
Right.
And granted, James has a commanding lead. It's not that commanding.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I'm looking. I'm going through points right now. 160, 145.
And then
total.
there's a very tight race between Forsberg, Pollock, Field, and Turk for 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. And then a little bit of a gap between Kristaps, who, that was a bummer that Kristaps is what happened to his BMW? There's also very
actually,
nice
I
of
had
George K
he gave
to
me
let
the
him drive
part
his
that
car.
broke in his engine. He had like a lifter brake, which
Snap
ended
it
up
too.
slamming material all the way through his engine. And he drove George K's car, by the way.
Yeah,
and,
I saw that.
And he told me, he goes, if this is what Pro 2 car is, they'll never make it in Pro 1.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
he seemed
He
kinda
said if
bummed.
this is what a
Well,
real
he-
Pro 2 competitive Pro 2 car is, they'll never make it in Pro 1. Kristaps told me that in his BMW, he goes, my BMW, I run a 295 at 12 pounds. This car 255, I'm running 65
60.
pounds
Oh, man.
just to try to keep the car going.
I mean, to keep it competitive.
Yeah, just to keep it moving
to
and
pro.
loose. And he's
I would have
and-
been happy that I would have had a car.
Yeah, no, he was.
Instead
Oh
of-
no, he was
No, he
happy.
was,
Yeah,
yeah.
he was.
He
It's
He
not-
was happy, but I think he was more shocked at
Yeah,
this is
that the
this
level
car
of difference.
is
well, Chris's car is fast as like a rocket ship, so he probably puts on a weight scale one of the most fastest cars in the
Yeah.
pro to one of a good, I think, car in a pro too. So it's a big gap.
Yeah, and looking at the points, I think Kristaps got the 18 points for
18
qualifying,
points,
which
yep.
he's still top 10. So he could still break into top 5. Without that 18 points, he actually would have went back to maybe 12th place almost. He would have dropped 18 points.
Yeah.
So
But
he would have dropped.
I have a feeling that he's going to shake up Irwindale quite a bit.
Yeah, so he went back. He said immediately loaded up, went back to the motor builder, and they're building him a brand new motor for Irwindale. So he'll be back out there, but it seems like everybody had problems. Forsberg had problems. He had
Yeah.
some major engine problems.
Which also, that's I don't want to say it's surprising, but it's like I feel like we've seen Forsberg have lots of problems with his car throughout the season, but still in 4th place. Where it's like it's weird to see Forsberg having problems, but even though he struggled at times, still made it to 4th
like
place.
imagine if Forsberg, if he had a car that was like 100% trouble free, like what kind of damage he could have caused this year.
Do you know what we
Yeah.
were joking about? I'll tell you what we're joking about. You'll probably get mad at me since I said this. He's like, I'm so close away from putting an SR in this thing. Swear to
Forsberg?
God. Yeah. He's
That's
like,
awesome.
I am so close to getting a Mazworks SR and throwing it in this car.
Yeah. Because
That was
They said they
the
haven't gone all
newfangled
year.
motors.
They haven't gone all year. They went every single round. They had the engine out of the car at least once.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so they're like, dude, I don't know. He's like, I would
Yeah.
love to put an SR in this car.
What about an LS?
Well, there's
He said he'd
there's
do.
just
He
something
would.
to this.
What's that, Sam?
He wants it to be Nissan. He wants it to be Nissan,
Yeah.
so he could be all Nissan. But yeah,
Yeah.
there's definitely something to be said for the simplicity of the JZs, of the SRs by comparison to his current motor setup, which he want to be the motor that comes stock in that car, just for the sake of. I don't think anyone's really it's not like Nissan's being like, hey, you have to run this motor. I think he just wants to make a statement, being like, this is the motor that came in this car, more or less, or similar to. and this is what I'm able to do with it.
Well, we stayed at the track and probably till 1 a.m. that night, and they were still working on the car. And I never really got that far deep to Forsberg's engine bay, but I was totally digging in there with Scott and Forsberg, and he was showing me around. And it's actually a really not a complicated setup, but there's a lot of parts.
There's
in there.
so many.
There's so many
much
parts
stuff.
from how the manifold made that
Careful.
is tucked right in the far back with the turbos, and you have the dumps coming out the top. There's just so much in that little engine bay.
Yeah, then those engines have like this front plate that is totally separate from the heads that you have to reseal every single time.
Yeah, so like for example, we were talking. He was explaining to me, obviously like with a JZ or something like that, you just could literally pull the head off and put a head gasket on and tighten it down.
I just pictured Fede laughing in the background with his twin supercharged V12. He's like, "Oh, complicated motor, guys. What's up?"
Yeah,
Check it out.
No, it's true. It's true. He has a VQ.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. Is it a VR or VQ?
It's a
It's a VQ.
VQ. It's very complicated engine. I mean, it's very engineering wise. It's not just let's change the head gasket to it. Nah.
There's two of them.
They have to pull the cams out, pull the front plate off.
Yeah,
it was.
Yes.
They impress me how hard they work.
I'm more impressed on how good these guys
shocked.
are.
I'm shocked, but it's basically from my experience also what Chris takes out from them, as also leadership wise, what the driver makes you feel that you should do for him, because everybody's working hard there.
Right.
But when you see people working all night, I mean, that's the respect they have for the driver. Really.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing too is Chris was there up until 3 a.m.
I know. He's a
But,
real guy.
Yeah,
I
those
mean,
guys
yes.
were slaving away, and they got it figured out. And
Yes.
but it was yeah, and I was like, well, why don't you put an RB in it? And he says SR or bust. I don't know.
Well, then there's also like the whole VR thing, which people like AMS, one of the people that contribute to the build of his motor, they make 3,000 horsepower VR, the Skyline
That's right.
GTR motors. But the thing is that
How
they
many
can do
passes?
a 3,000 horsepower motor that goes down the drag strip in 6 seconds,
Yeah.
which is very hard on the motor, of course.
And another one
but
is
the only thing
last
that's harder
all
on the
weekend.
motor is to sit and bounce off rev limiter and be clutch kicked and to go through the punishment of drifting,
No.
30 to 40 times an event if you're going to go all the way to the top. So it's like, these drag Skylines, granted the motors are built very strong and very good, they're not nearly getting as much abuse, or at least the specific kind of abuse that a drift car motor gets, because of the crazy shock that is applied to a
Very true.
Pro 1 Formula Drift car motor.
Very true.
Yeah, and he's had engines built by them in some of these the largest drag racing VQ engine builders, and they don't last. They're not lasting.
I mean, it just there's something about having twice the amount of cams, twice the amount of moving parts just for the valve train. I mean, that's what like that timing chain goes back and forth and back and forth. Then you let go of the gas, put it back. It just it's insane what these engines need to do for drifting. How long is the average drifting run?
30 to 40 seconds.
30 to 40 seconds.
Yeah,
Of
I feel like even less than that a lot of times.
clutch
It's-
kicking,
Yeah.
full power, sitting on the rev limiter. I mean,
Yes.
I think that's one of the reasons why LS engines do so good, because they're very simple and they have the least moving parts.
Yeah, there's just not as much room for failure.
Yeah. One of the things I could tell about your car is that like a lot of people knows that Ferraris are delicate, like you have to kind of like treat them right. But I think at the same time they are engineered to such an incredible amount of tolerance and precision that it looks you haven't had a single engine issue.
Yeah, I was gonna say your motor seems to have held up from all outward appearances.
in Italian, you touch the wood, but in Italian, we touch art, okay? So as soon as it's okay. While you were talking about it, I
was
already,
grabbing it the whole
my hand went like slightly down. Nobody saw, and I went like, doo-doo, and this is wood?
It is now.
Okay, said this. You're right, and this is one of my major pride of Fiorella and our build, and the fact that we're showing that such a delicate car can hold all this abuse.
Yeah.
For sure, we haven't had, unfortunately, super long
Yeah.
weekends, but at the same time, between free practice, qualify, and tandem practice, we're putting her under stress. It depends for sure on the tuner, and then there are engines that like more staying on the rev limiter and engines that like it less.
Yeah.
It also depends on the driver. Of course, we are now at a point where I think a pro car just also can handle the lead run and the chase run, and then it needs a break,
A cool down.
a cool down.
Yeah.
Already we're arriving to a point like this. Do you confirm, Corey?
I would say so.
Okay, so I mean it's similar to the drug,
Yeah.
because ask for a drift pro car to do 2 hours of endurance.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to
No.
happen.
It will never happen.
Yeah.
Correct?
They're too wound up.
Everything is built for its own particular purpose.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. So also today I think we're developing, tuners are developing tunes for drifting.
Oh yeah.
Do you agree?
Yeah.
Definitely.
100%.
Yep.
We still haven't found the fine tuning of drifting. Also the driver sometimes, or the team owner or the car owner, gets too much greedy. Like we were saying before, come on, let's take out another 10 horsepower. Come on, let's take out another 20 foot-pound of torque, a 30, a 40, a 50. Everybody crying.
Yeah.
No.
What are your thoughts on electric power drift cars?
It scares me on which way, that probably the first electric drift car set up well will kick the ass of everybody.
Everything gas powered.
Of everybody, okay? But at the same time, it will be so annoying because of no spectacular noises, turbo sounds.
It's still there'll be sideways speed and all the smoke.
You're right. Well,
I mean, as you know, we had Elon Musk with us on the 2 episodes ago.
Yep.
And I think what we should do is just get him in touch and maybe start a Tesla drifting program. Do you want to be
Yes.
their test pilot?
Why not?
So obviously, I don't want to.
You don't need to.
No.
You already got 2F to take care
Yeah,
of.
exactly.
and-
So we'll talk to Ellen. Just call us tomorrow, please. Thank you.
Call us Ellen.
Ellen DeGeneres show. We'll be on there next week with Paco.
And then not to take up too much more time.
Yeah,
but,
I'm ready.
Definitely some of the stuff I noticed, and maybe it's interesting to hear my perspective because I only watch from home, which is kind of weird. I only watched top 16, by the way. I watched top 32 while I was writing my best bad speech, so I wasn't paying too much attention. I did see as many runs as possible.
Did
but I
you
just
throw
watched top
a no
16.
doctor in your speech?
I did. I heard Jared say "Oh, doctor." I think no less than 3 times in top
Yes.
16 as well, which I was very excited about. Chelsea coming off a hot weekend at St. Louis, equally hot here, and he was driving like a madman. But then Peter just got right up on his ass and
He was maddest.
just ridiculously. I don't want to say destroyed him, but he just mimicked his every move in a most absurd way, and it's exciting to see Peter driving the way that Peter's driving, and there is of course something special about those S15s that Wardhouse and those guys built, but there's something to Peter and James's driving, and Peter I think now driving better than James, and James hasn't had a chance to prove, unfortunately, because it looked like his car died once again. Do we know what happened?
broke a diff.
Ugh. But I guess Peter keeps on going in and destroying James's cars so he can get this title of the best Wardhouse driver right now. But it's really interesting to see Peter grow as a driver and be as good, if not better, than James in many circumstances. And if the season were longer, it seems like Peter would eventually pass James in points based off the last few rounds.
Yep. Yeah, he's going to be a force for sure, and obviously they're probably going to keep continuing their dominance. I'm just waiting to hear more of what crazy Europeans are coming over next year. I think
I know.
I think we're going to get a big invasion.
There's some good
here
rumors.
Soon. Yeah.
What Fetty, with your experience in the sport and everything, we obviously saw what James and Peter accomplished last year. Seeing James do it again this year and Peter hiking up there, what's your take on these dudes being dominant?
I'm
how
very-
do you and how do other drivers compete against them in the future?
Well, I'm very impressed of what they're achieving. Also, because once you're here, you understand also what it takes to achieve that. I don't want to be misunderstood, because the respect towards Peter and James is really huge from my side. So I am gonna pick and choose the words a little bit carefully. The cars are not Science NASA, an S15 with a 2J.
Right.
They are very, very good drivers. So this combined with the fact that also I think the team is a strong team. Please understand what I'm trying to say. And with good bases, this allows them to drive, and don't care about anything that is happening around. At least about drivers. I'm talking about the drivers, And from what I see, the huge difference is that, I have to stay here until the car is not ready for the next round. Then maybe I'm allowed to go back home. I see them flying after 2 hours that the race is finished. That means they have an amazing team behind. That means that you can come here fresh. You can, just drive. The race is finished. You shake the hand of everybody. You go home.
Yeah.
That's
a proper team.
That's a proper team, and they are proper drivers.
That is interesting point that you make, though. Is I know what you're saying. By no means is this bad mouthing, but it is definitely telling that the top 3 drivers for the season all are show up and drive drivers. They're not the dudes that are wrenching underneath the cars. Which
that's a great thing for the sport, though.
Yes, I agree.
It is.
That's a great thing.
Everybody must go in that direction. And I hope...
Ideally, everyone gets there someday where you can only focus on your driving.
Absolutely. And I hope also that the teams will understand that if they want to be a winning team, they must take care of their drivers. They must take care of their drivers, because I see a lot of drivers busting their ass in FD, and some, mechanics are like the assistant of the driver that in that moment became the main mechanic, so it's difficult.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. And they went with you talk about the car choice. It's a 2J and S15.
It's
the most tested and tuned, developed.
It's a bicycle.
Creative. Yeah, you're just
I say it's a bicycle.
Yep, you're gonna hop in and you just got to perform.
But hey, you have to perform.
Yep,
careful.
Yeah.
So let's give the huge credit to these two boys.
100%.
Okay?
They created the rest.
They're doing wall rides, door-to-door stuff, crazy entries, crazy everything. They're amazing drivers.
They might be the best drivers in the world right now, but they also have a very well-researched and well-made setup, and they have the best sort of situation to show up and be successful driving.
Yes.
So you can in no way discount their skill, but they also have a very good equation behind them.
Yes, absolutely. And it's good that they're enjoying it now, because when Fiorella is ready, the party is over.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
That's great. That's what I want to hear.
Awesome.
I don't know if you know this about me, but I talk a lot of trash, so I always support the trash talking.
Awesome.
There's a last super chat question just popped up.
Yeah.
From Carr. He's asking, what are your comments and thoughts on Forrest Wang?
So I watched. Let me get my outsider
Yeah, let Sam get
quick.
his outsider in.
Because I watched Wang and Vaughn's run just a few hours before this, and it looked like the same thing we've seen a lot, which is Wang possibly being a little bit slow in a transition and getting hit.
And that's what the judges
looked
were
like
saying
to me, and I imagine that's what the judges saw. But in the top 16 on YouTube, they didn't explain it whatsoever. So all you see is. I think, was it Vaughn following first, and then you see what looks like a slight amount of contact or some sort of contact, and the end of the run, if I remember correctly, the run end there. And then you have the second run, which is pretty general, and then they gave Vaughn a win.
Yeah, I was surprised. I guess I didn't notice the slowdown. But then when I talked to the judges, they told me, he slowed down in that part. We made a lot of emphasis. They checked many times the footage, and they agreed. But it was definitely one of those where I was like, oh, that's it, Vaughn is out, but because of that adjustment he did. But it's funny because it's kind of similar to what happened with you and JTP with that adjustment that you made. Yeah, it seems like JTP kind of a slow down a little too much, or kind of overcorrect a little too much.
I wasn't expecting to find him right after the switch.
Yeah.
Well, there was the second inside clip, right?
Yeah.
When we made the switch of direction, actually I was on it because I said now he's gonna, give me those 4 meters before the wall.
Right.
When we switched, I saw him there. I said, "Oh, you're here." Oh, I got a little bit choked. Instead, I probably
Yeah.
should have just ran over the damn
Yeah.
the damn clipping.
And I believe that's what Andy saw.
Yeah.
And he deemed JTP at fault for that. So
Could be,
Yeah.
could be, but
And that
hey,
was one of the major problems of this track as a whole. Is that, granted, you could say that that's one of the technical challenges of the track,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
what separates the winners from the people that don't move on.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's definitely, for consistent drifting, it's not the ideal setup, because there's so many variables of getting lost in the smoke.
Yeah.
And if the lead driver wants to be a dick or is just accidentally slowing down, like, you have moments of blindness, and you come out of that blindness, and you don't know where the person is in front of you.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's one last question
All right,
from the
then
super
wrap it
chat.
up.
So, thanks for the super chat questions, guys. Let's just gonna take this last one. So please don't send more. Fed's thoughts on Drift Masters and IDC and BDC.
Well, the level is amazing. The
So
level is
good.
amazing. I actually personally know the organizer of the Drift Masters. That is a good friend, Alec. Jamush, my friend, by the way. He's very high level right now. Also, the IDC, amazing drivers, and yeah, I think they're all making one big, from what I understand and what I see, kind of a big community of organizers and stuff. It looks like, because I see MCs shared, judges shared. You know, it's always like a little bit the same pot. The level is rising, thanks God, because 15 years ago, we didn't even know if we would have had a future, if we would have became a sport. You know,
Yep.
right now it's growing, it's becoming solid. Championships around the world, solid teams coming up, drivers that today have a name, are realities. You know, are
Right.
facts. So I'm a big fan of the European scene. Absolutely.
More opportunity available.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah. Anything you want to
Well,
add?
should we-
Anything else? Yeah. Do you want
Yeah,
to?
let's bring her home.
Bring it, send it out.
Anyone do you want to thank?
Well, we mentioned at the beginning.
Oh yeah, just
already everybody from my side. Of course, there is loads of people that I would like to thank, and I'm actually afraid to miss somebody. You know, so they know
Yeah,
they know
you-
perfectly who's involved. And the relationships that I build are not relationships that have to be a show-off relationship. It's a build of facts and personal experiences that we have. So
Yep.
I'm just very honored and blessed to have all the respect that I see, to have your respect right here. And I am going to give my best, as always. You know, this is what I can say.
Well, you're the man. We appreciate you making the investment, doing everything you do, because and obviously we latched on to you because you are doing something major for the sport that the sport needed. We needed a crazy maniac Italian to bring a Ferrari over and break a bunch of people's hearts, and that is the progression of what the sport needs to get more people interested. And you brought in this whole different group, this whole different demographic, which now we have another set of eyeballs in. And so for us, it was what you're doing is what's growing the sports for people like us as well. So
Awesome.
we
Thank
thank
you very much.
No, thank you,
Fede,
man.
wouldn't you say that a statement like that deserves a little kiss?
It does. It does.
We're gonna
It-
save it for
does.
after the show,
But
Sam.
after
gonna give
when
it
the
to-
camera is off.
We're
He's
gonna
gonna
grab
give
some
it to you,
coffee
Ariel
too.
Wendell.
We're gonna grab some coffee too. So
What are you guys gonna do without me? You all gonna hang out, and I'm just gonna be here alone?
yeah, you're gonna be by
Kind
yourself.
of,
You're
yeah,
gonna-
and we're gonna start sending you photos of what's happening and
Yep.
all
Oh,
that
please
stuff.
do. Please
We're gonna
do. I can't-
update
Okay.
you. We're gonna update you play by play, just like your mom.
Oh, I
Like,
appreciate that.
okay, so Federico ordered a club soda.
Yep. So, anyways, guys, we got to thank our sponsors. We got to thank our
AM.
Patreons
Oh,
first,
okay, that's right. We gotta do our
Patreons.
Patreons first.
because they've been helping us out a lot. So, become a Patreon. Link is on our Facebook and
Which,
YouTube.
by the way,
Uh-oh.
big shout out. We have a $20 Patreon. You just sign up
Hey.
this weekend. His name is Troy Walker.
Thank you, Troy
Thanks,
Walker.
Troy.
Appreciate that,
You
buddy.
are the man.
Then obviously we got to go back to our go-tos. AM intakes. Obviously, AM intakes. It's good enough for a
Yes.
Ferrari. It's good
It's
enough
good
for
enough for
Maximo
your
Driftcast.
Breathing
Fast.
fresh air
Yep.
with the AM intakes. Thank you, Chris.
Yep. Thank you guys for everything and being such a huge supporter as they support
Yes.
a lot of people in the series. Once again, every little bit helps the drivers. get on track, put on a show for you guys. We also want to thank Necks and Tires and Fair Club. They help with the halftime show. They help with Maximum Driftcast. Go buy some tires for God's
gave
sakes.
us delicious barbecue at the track this weekend.
And yeah, I'm actually.
Oh man.
Yeah, they.
Oh, you have no idea, Sam.
Yep.
I'm still having the shakes.
Last but not least, Motegi Racing Wheel. They have been a huge supporter of the show, huge supporter of myself, the Driftcast live stream, and Big Balls. Big Balls got some Motegi Racing Wheels.
Motegi is awesome.
Yeah, no, they're awesome. So once again, thanks you guys. They really allow us to make this show every single week to give you guys some really nerdy stuff to listen to. But we have a good time doing it. But without them, we couldn't do it. But on that note, we're gonna
thank Big Brawls.
Big Brawls, Brian.
Big Brawls, Brian.
Thanks, Big Brawls, Brian.
Thanks for manning the South booth. Brian, thanks Fede for coming in, stopping in the studio. Thanks
Thank you guys.
team.
You're awesome.
Yep. And we will see you guys next week, actually.
Next week
Sure
with
will.
another episode of
Maximum Driftcast.
This damn video will be out.
Man.
So Deep.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.